they know what to do for the guys. The guys are like,
So a guy comes in, he plans the vacation, and then on December 26th, the wife comes in and says,
let's change
we need
this.
to change a
Let's
few
change
things.
this. Let's go to someplace
And that's
different,
okay, right?
and that's all right. We can work that out. Most of the time, actually, if I get a guy that comes in and wants to talk about a Christmas gift, unless he's really confident that he knows what they want to do,
He's
I say,
never confident.
yeah, I'd say, why don't we play with a couple ideas? Why don't I give you concepts, and then you come back the week after Christmas and let's book it. So it's good, but you know, it's a good time. Business has been good, so the travel industry's been very solid. So I can't complain.
That's ideal. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. I'm going to have a piece of paper that says, Merry Christmas, dear. Tomorrow we're going to see Lou and plan our trip.
There you go. That
Right?
works. That works.
That's the move, right?
And I have that. I do a lot of that for retirement gifts for people that
Like me.
give a travel like your retirement. uh, Places that give a $3,000 or $4,000 retirement gift of go call Lou and book something.
I
So
love it.
that works out really well. Do want a couple plug on a
Yeah.
couple items here that we've got going on for next year. Two nice Viking River cruises that I'm working on.
I hope my wife's not listening, or
One
I'll be
with
on
the
that.
Huber Winery crowd over in the
Yeah.
Starlight that we're doing Bordeaux. And of course, if Huber's involved, we're going to be drinking a lot of wine. And
Yeah.
then the other one is in Portugal in May. That I'm escorting both of those, and would love. We have a couple more cabins left on each of them, so it'd be a great time if someone's thinking about trying a Viking trip. It'd be a
I
great
would
time
love
to
to
do it.
say check, put my name on that, but I hope she's not listening. That's all I can tell you, Lou.
It's all right.
Luckily, she doesn't listen to me.
There you
She
go.
doesn't listen to me at home. She doesn't listen to me when I'm not at home. So,
And broadcasting is no way, right?
so you told me you know who's going to win this game
I
tonight.
do. It's a real simple game. St. X is going to win.
Oh man,
I
you
mean,
got me.
yeah, that's all there is to it.
You got
St.
me.
X is going to win.
You
Now,
got me.
I'm not saying if it's the blue and white St. X or the green and gold St. X. I know who I want to win,
Yep.
and that's my green and gold Tigers, and not the Bombers. I think is what
The
they are.
Bombers. They used to be
I
the
was
Blue Bombers.
I
Now
was
they're just
trying
the
to remember,
Bombers.
yeah, because they used to be something different. I was thinking maybe the Commodores or something at one point, but the Bombers is right. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think they're both very talented teams from
Yes.
what I've seen. Both getting ready to start their playoffs, so both are prepping and ready to go.
The last time I had you on, did we win?
No, it was
This is.
male.
I should have known.
It was male.
This was a bad idea.
This was not good.
Lou, enjoy your evening. Stay
Uh,
in the suite. It's a little chilly out there.
Always good to come in.
Eat some of that good food for me, will you?
We'll do it, bud.
We'll take a break, come back, and hear from the head coach of the Tigers, Kevin Wallace. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Kevin Wallace, take me back to last week, Coach. What did you like and not like about the win over PRP?
Love the way we got the game out of reach early. Thought we handled our business. We're able to play a lot of people. Obviously, we had the clock running, a little bit past midway through the second quarter. What I didn't like, I didn't feel like our backups played to their potential. I don't, everybody handles their own team, and we were gonna sub. We wanted a lot of guys to get to play. PRP decided not to do it that way, but even if we are subbing, we need to be a little bit more competitive than what we were last week. We did a very, very poor job offensively after we took our starters out, and defensively, obviously, we gave up a little bit more than we would like, but ultimately we knew we were going to win the game. That's what the objective was. It secured us a home playoff game, and now we move on.
University of Louisville has two quarterbacks. It's working pretty well. Do you now have two quarterbacks?
That's a great question.
You like the way I framed that one?
I sure do. I think that Makai has the capability to move to that position to enable us to put the ball in his hands. So if we struggle to get the ball in his hands, as we have done in a few games this year, it gets an immediate way of our best playmaker having an ability to touch the ball.
It was a big difference maker. I mean, the eye test was pretty good.
Well, he's only done it for a very short period of time, never really been a quarterback. I was really proud of the way he handled it. I can complain about a lot of technical stuff that would have to be fixed with a long period of coaching. But as you well know, John, in trying to coach him to do this, we're also continuing to play him at wideout. So where he's at, considering his limited time practicing, I thought he was really good.
Defensive side of the ball, you got Jake D'Antoni back, and we called his name a lot last week.
Isn't that great? I mean, that to me is the highlight of the night, that a young man that has worked his rear end off for 6 months to get back after tearing an ACL in the spring, a guy that's a senior that may have thought he'd never get to play again. And, he's going to have a good impact for us as we go into the playoffs.
All right, tonight, Cincinnati St. X comes down. As is usually the case, this game means nothing to you, but I think it doesn't mean a whole lot to them this year either. They're still going to have a home game. Mm-hmm. You got a small RPI boost if you win, I guess.
Not much, because we don't get a whole lot of credit for playing out-of-state teams, even though this team is ranked number 47 in the country according to Cal Preps, Max Preps. They're a 500 team according to the KHSAA.
Yeah, beat them and it means very little.
Yeah, so
what's the game plan tonight, personnel-wise?
If we can stay in the game, we want to compete. Yeah. I think as long as the game's competitive, then we would like to come out of the game feeling like the best teams on our schedule we can play with. If things go downhill for us, I'm very much like last year, John. I'm not planning on being dumb. And that is let somebody stay in there and get beat up, and because ultimately it doesn't matter what the final score is. We want to win the football game. We want to challenge ourselves to be better than we've been all year long, but we've got to understand the most important week of our season is next week, because that's the time that finality hits. Whoever loses next week is done.
Senior night, talk about this group.
From day one when we came back in January, I've really loved their attitude. And I've loved their willingness to work. And much like what I said about last year's group, I've loved their acceptance of me. I realize that I'm different than what they've been accustomed to, and they've made it easy for me to come to work every day.
All right, good luck tonight. Have fun.
Thank you.
Head coach Kevin Wallace, who will be back with the opening kickoff. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network.
ball, or if it's a close game, you get the ball to start the second half. But St. X Tigers coming on the field, and the Bombers are coming down the other side, and we're getting ready for football. Very sparse crowd here tonight, John, on a cold night.
Senior night, you got Doug Bodine, Logan Davis, Hale Bowler, Elijah Byrne, guys like that. Butterflies, even though you still have a game next week?
I think by this time, no, because it's just part of the festivities. One thing you do know as a senior, that it is coming towards a close no matter what happens, even if you go to the state finals. But when you know you get to at least come back here one more time, I don't think it's as big a deal as when, like, maybe in basketball or something like that, when you know you're not going to get to play on your home court again. But, John, 45 degrees, but I guarantee the wind chill's a lot colder than that down there.
We say this every year on the 10th game of the season. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the St. X Tigers, and that's the case around the state. I guess Mail and Manual playing over at Manual Stadium means a lot to those two teams because of what a huge rivalry it is. But, Tony, I would have to say Trinity and Bowling Green. I think Eastern's playing Wagner. DeSales is playing, I believe, Mercer County. What do the teams want to accomplish tonight other than staying injury-free?
Well, just get better.
We'll listen in on our national anthem. Camaraderie there as the Bomber Marching Band and the Tiger Marching Band get together for our national anthem. We wondered why they were over here on the track together. We thought there was a rumble getting ready to happen between the two bands, but no. They combined for a rousing rendition of the national anthem. Tiger captains tonight, as always, Hale Bowler, Douglas Bodine, the year-long captains, but Cameron Donlin, long snapper, Jeffrey Sexton, place kicker. Is this an omen that maybe these two guys get together and win this game late?
Well, it would be a good omen if you're a Louisville St. X fan, but I don't know, John. It's going to be interesting out here tonight. Like I said, there is no – I'm looking at the flag in the end zone, not even moving, still as can be. So just a cold night. Both teams ready to go. They're out on the field, and Sexton has just put the ball on the tee.
Jim Brinkman, can you confirm that it is indeed a cold night?
Actually, after being here for the freshman game last night, I mean, this is like balmy. I'm thinking about putting some suntan lotion on. Guys, the energy of it being senior night, and even that you joked about the rendition. That was an excellent rendition. And here's the ball game.
Taken by Liam Clifford at about the 5. He gets across the 15, and then a nice tackle as he is tripped up short of the 20-yard line. Try to see who got in on that tackle. It was, I guess Thomas Taffel, defensive end, who came down and made the hit.
Yes, John.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bombers at their own 18-yard line. It's going to be tough tonight. This game's always tough, Tony, because you want to say St. X, but you want the fans at home to know exactly which St. X we're talking about. Under center is Matthew Reevy. Stretch play to the left, handoff, running left across the 20, 25, hit and drop by Peckinpah. Or that is J.P. Reed, with a tackle on the leading rusher, Kellen Newman, the senior. Gain of about 10 and a first down for Cincinnati St. X, and they go quickly. Play action this time. A little screen to Marshall came across. He's got a first down, pushed out of bounds on the Bombers sideline, and that's it. Coverdale offense that we saw so many years at Trinity, Tony. Get to the line of scrimmage, get the play called, and get out quickly.
Well, good athletes, you do that, and two good positive plays for the Bombers to start this game.
Marshall Lang with the catch. He got 12 out to the 40. 1st and 10 Bombers. Handoff, running right. hit at the line of scrimmage, fighting forward for about 3. That is Newman again. Hello, Newman. Cotton in on the tackle with Robert Andriol as well. Gain of 3, second down 7.
Newman, a 5'8", 184 senior running back, run for over 600 yards this year.
2 to the left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield and a shotgun for Reevy. Takes a snap, straight drop, throw over the middle, tip knocked away. Good defensive play that time. That is Cotton in coverage on Marshall Lang. Just got a meat hook in there and knocked it away. It's 3rd and 7.
The junior linebacker, Cotton, 6'1", 225, in good coverage. Ball flew up in the air. Actually, ball gets a little farther down the field. The Tigers of St. X might have an opportunity.
First third down of the night for Cincinnati St. X. Shotgun again here for Reevy. Takes a snap, straight drop, wants to throw deep right side, has the first down. Caught across the middle field and stepping out of bounds is Owen Smith. And it looked like the defensive back sort of slipped and went to the turf there.
Yeah, Parker Gilliam was in coverage. He ran him down about 10 yards, cut it out, and Gilliam slips, and that makes him wide open.
Needed 7, got 9. 1st and 10, Bombers. Hand off to Newman up the middle. He's got a big hole, tripped up by Curtis Cotton, who makes his 3rd tackle of this opening drive, but not before Kellen Newman got to the 43. It's a gain of 5. It could have been a lot more.
Well, John, the Tiger defense has to get in position and get the play in quicker. They're all looking at the sideline. Cincinnati St. X is already lining up, trying to get going.
3 receivers close to the line of scrimmage, but to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Quick throw to the right. Caught and dropped. Intended for Clifford. And Gilliam hit him as the ball got there. Nice play by Parker Gilliam. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's just a quick go down about 5, come back to the ball, and good timing by Gilliam to come up and knock it away from Clifford. So, once again, a 3rd down and 5 for the Bombers in St. X territory at the 43-yard line. No score, first quarter.
Washington State offense here. There, I'm out of breath. All right, Newman in the backfield, little pistol formation here. Reevy takes a snap, wants to throw, pressure up in the middle, rolls out to the right, throws, and it's caught for the first down, hit and dropped immediately. Nice job by Reevy to get out and throw the completion. And that is Liam Clifford with his first catch of the night. He needed 5. He got 6 to the 37-yard line and a first down.
Well, Mick Walsh got pressure up the middle. Reevy rolls to his right, hits his receiver right on the money.
Under center this time with an empty backfield. Now Newman comes back into the backfield. Reevy takes a snap, stretch play to the left. Newman running left, hit and dropped short of the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit. I think it was Kenny Schaffner, and it was who brought him down for well, they'll give him the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, the Tigers had trouble with this stretch play against Manual in the 4th quarter, and that's been some of their bread and butter here for the Bombers early.
2nd down from the left hash mark. Read option, rolling right is Reevy, throws over the middle. He's got his man, had pressure in the backfield, but eluded it and hit the open receiver, Drew Britt, the junior, down at the 26-yard line.
Well, Reevy comes in completing 68% of his passes for 2,375 yards, and you'll see what the Bombers are doing. As a Tigers substitute, they got to get ready.
Gain of 11 and a first down for Cincinnati St. X at the Tiger 26. 9.5 to go, opening quarter. This is the opening drive. Straight drop this time for Reevy. Wants to go high and deep to the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Liam Clifford. Got behind Parker Gilliam. Terrific throw that time for Matthew Reevy, and very quickly the Bombers are on the board.
Well, the 6'4" quarterback, Reevy, with that hurry-up offense, has just kind of picked the Tigers apart. He beats Gilliam to the corner, and like you said, John, the ball was right on the money, and the big quarterback looks good throwing the football.
Point after attempt. And they got a couple of kickers, so we have to figure out exactly which one is in there for the PAT. It is up and good from Mason Rollmiller. 7-0. Cincinnati St. X, 9:17 to go. First quarter, you're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Next, quick drive down the field for the Bombers. Kickoff by Maxwell Clare, taken by Mekhi Smith at the 2. Made a great move at about the 15, got all the way out across the 30. So the Tigers will start at their own 31. We anticipate Douglas Bodine as the starting quarterback here for the Tigers on the first drive of the night. And he does head out.
Tucker Hunley on a big hit on Mekhi at the 31-yard line. So St. X Tigers take over for the first time tonight, trailing 7-0 with 9:06 left first quarter.
Bodine, the 6'1", 180-pound senior here on senior night. He's got Logan Davis in the backfield with him, who gets the call on first down up the middle, had a hole across the 35, tripped up at about the 36-yard line, a gain of 5 for Logan Davis on first down. And the Tigers want to go quick, but there's no way they're going to go as quick as the Bombers did.
Well, remember the Bombers over the last few years played kind of a funky defense. They play 3 guys down, they move about 5 guys, and they move them all over the place. And the Tigers have had trouble over the last few years.
In motion is Mekhi Smith. They pitch it forward to him, does Bodine, cuts inside, makes a move, gets out short of the first down, but got to the 40, gain of 4. Good pursuit by Cincinnati St. X, but Mekhi Smith shot up quickly to get 4 yards. It's 3rd and 1.
Got a good job by the right side of that St. X offensive line. Probus and Grieve over there doing a nice job of staying with their blocks.
Smith to the left. That's the wide side of the field. 2 receivers to the right. Logan Davis in the backfield. Offset pistol formation behind Bodine. Takes a snap, gives it to Logan Davis. Fights, does not get the first down, I don't believe. Got a decent spot, but he's still going to be a half yard short of that first down.
I don't see the punting team coming on, but I can't
either.
believe that Tigers would go for it here unless they want a measurement to see exactly where the ball's at, and that's what they're going to get.
Jake Dubourg made the hit. It is literally Tigers have to get to the 41. The ball is short of the 41 by inches, Tony.
Yeah, John. It's
got a good spot.
It's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Jim Brinkman, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's short, but it's interesting to what Coach Wallace, if he decides to go for it on 4th down, guys.
I think, worst case, you try to draw them off sides, right?
Yeah, and I was thinking that too. And in a game like this that you don't want to get behind, but the game really does. It's almost like a preseason game.
Yeah.
Besides, you don't ever want to lose a regular season game. So it'd be interesting what to do. They're going to be short. We know that. We could see that from here.
Referees. They make everything take too
Well, there's 7 of them tonight. One of them's our buddy. One of our buddies, Stephen Tompkins, out there tonight. He texted me today and said they're going 7-man crew. 7-man crew tonight.
That means more flags.
Exactly.
I hate to say it. That means more flags. Stephen did tell you he's not going to throw any flags tonight, though. Right?
Exactly.
That's good. So 4th down, Tigers do keep the offense in, at least right now they do. And it looks like Bodine is going to go up under center. I expect nothing more here than trying to draw the Bombers off sides, Tony.
Well, he's under center, and we haven't seen that for a while.
Logan Davis is behind him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 7 at the line of scrimmage for the Bombers. Bodine keeps it. He's got the first down and a little bit more. Got out to the 44. He just went behind the right side of that offensive line, and they moved the defense, who was 7 strong, at the front.
Yeah, they had the 3 linebackers all up in tight, and he took a step to his right, got behind Probus, and he almost got through there. Got a few yards, and if he could have got off a leg, he might have been racing somebody down the field. But Tigers get their first down of the night.
Needed less than a foot, got 3 full yards. 1st and 10 at their own 44.
And, John, they're getting man coverage here on the outside.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. That's Smith. Here's a handoff to Davis. Runs right into the arms of a waiting Bomber. Fought his way for about a half a yard. Noah Taylor, the linebacker, the senior. He's also the punter, came through and made the hit.
If I see that defensive formation again, we're going to yell we're running a slant and tell the defensive back, because there's no defensive back in the middle field. Mekhi Smith has man-man could be the best corner in the country. You're going to give me the whole middle of the field. I'm running a post and a quick slant.
2nd down and 9. They do give a yard to Logan Davis. Empty backfield. In motion comes Goodman from right to left. 4 receivers. Rolling left. Blitz comes. Throw short and wide of Grant Goodman. And that time Bodine running to his left and throwing with his right hand. He's struggled with that most of the year.
If they're going to do that, he has to turn and square his body. He tried to throw it while he was running towards the sideline.
Blitz was coming, though.
And you're right, but you're throwing across your body. You can do that better to your right, but the Tigers normally do it to their left, and that's interesting to me. I'd actually like to have the coaches tell me why they like rolling left.
And confusion here as Logan Davis came out. Now he goes back in. It is 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers at their own 45-yard line. Shotgun, rolling left again, is Bodine. In trouble, avoids a tackler, now throws late, and it is caught. Incomplete over on the Tigers sideline. Coming back, trying to make the catch was Mekhi Smith right at the first down marker, but good defense by the Bombers that time, and now Bayline will come out and Tigers will kick it away.
Well, if you don't feel like, normally when you roll your quarterback twice in a row, you don't feel like you're going to be able to protect him in the pocket. And that time, nothing. Both times they did it, not a whole lot there.
Bombers with just about 7 at the line of scrimmage. Not coming for a block, it doesn't appear, as Bayline sets up to boot it out of there and does not kick a very good one off the side of his foot. Rolls out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Thank goodness for the roll there. He's going to get 25 yards out of that kick, but Bennett Bayline, we don't see that very often out of him.
No, he's been good all year long, and every once in a while that happens, but now the St. X defense, Louisville St. X defense, has to come on, slow down the Bomber offense. Tigers got the 1 first down, but now with 6:32 left in the first quarter, the Bombers lead from Cincinnati 7-0, and they will have their second possession.
This one will start at the 31-yard line. Tigers with 5 at the line of scrimmage here on first down. Newman shifts into the backfield. Under center this time is Reavy. He'll give it to Newman. A little stretch play to the right. Fights his way to about the 33, maybe the 34. We'll give him 2.5 on the play. It's 2nd down and a long 7 here.
And now predictability we saw in the first drive, this will be play action. That's what they've done. They've run the stretch. They fake the handoff. There's no one back there with them. Usually throw it right after that stretch.
5 receivers this time. It's 2nd down and 8 here for the Bombers. Reavy takes a snap, rolls left, quick throw left through the hands of a receiver who had just turned around as the ball got there. It was Owen Smith, and that one had some juice on it, and Owen Smith, another quarter of a second, it hits him right in the face.
Yeah, I think it whistled right by his ear hole there, and he's like, wow, what was that? But that was a missile thrown by Reavy.
3rd down and 8. Make it 3rd and 7. They did give him the 34 on that previous play. Empty backfield, shotgun, a whistle, and a timeout called by the Bombers as Coach Speck did not like what he saw. Jim, this is a tough offense, and we saw it at Trinity for years, but I don't remember the Rocks running it this quickly.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm noticing that is different over the many years of St. X, Cincinnati that I've seen, this is the smallest St. X offense I've ever seen. The average across the line, you got 215, you got 220, 230, and of course you got 235 as Marshall Lang, the tight end. He's actually the 2nd biggest player that can block for you. So one thing that you can read immediately is whatever side Marshall Lang lines up to, they're running to that side. You can almost see that on the film time and time again. But once again, they're doing a lot of those shifts and making Coach Bruner adjust to one man extra on the blocking point of attack.
3rd down and 7, empty backfield this time for Matthew Reavy. Straight drop. Tigers bring late pressure. He's got plenty of time now. He pulls it down, runs, throws late, caught, 1st down across midfield. And out of bounds, way too much time for Matthew Reavy back there, and he finally found Liam Clifford for the 1st down. It's a gain of 18.
Well, John, I think he was past the line. We got out.
Oh, we do have a penalty, and we're going backwards. I didn't see I'm used to those pink flags from October. This one's yellow. Yeah. And it's all the way back at the 26-yard line.
Well, he had a receiver sitting down about 10 yards right off and couldn't find him. The rest of the Tigers did an excellent job in coverage. And then you can see what they do. I know Jimmy talked about the size of their offensive line, but they're a throwing team. And if you have good feet and good hands, you don't have to block for real long. You just got to control your guy. And I think that's probably one of the reasons they're so successful.
That one's all the way back at the 16-yard line, which brings up 3rd down and 25.
Now, if you're the Tigers, you want to get back in coverage and keep them in front.
3 to the left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield for Reavy. Tigers bring 2 and then 1 looping around. Throwing, caught out across the 40-yard line, and a first down for the Bombers. Unbelievable.
Well, the Tigers were in a zone. They dropped the linebackers.
Kellen
but
Newman, the running back who was in the slot, made the catch.
Well, the corner and the safety got two guys over there, and somebody's got to figure out who's on the outside, and the Bombers get the first down.
Gain of 28. Write that play down. That's a big one for a bad one for the St. X defense. Throw out of the backfield, a backwards pass to Newman. He's across the 50. The 45 has a first down and is pushed out of bounds in Tiger territory at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 12 and another first down for Cincinnati St. X. And when you got a team 3rd and 25, Tony, that's demoralizing.
You have to, John, and you're right.
Under center this time is Reevy. Looks to the sideline.
Watch for the stretch.
Alone in the backfield is Kellen Newman. He will get the call, running left, hitting the backfield, fights his way for about a yard. Eric Allen had a shot at him back at the 45, but he escaped Allen and was tackled by, I believe it was Walsh and
Reed, I believe, was over there.
Reed combining on the tackle at the 43. Gain of a yard, second down 9. 5:09 to go first quarter. Bombers lead at 7-0. Little mishap on the exchange there, but Reevy able to get it back now, throwing deep down the left side. He's got his man Clifford for the touchdown. Well, Zane Peckinpah was chasing him, and Braden Wilson, they're kind of pointing around. Well, somebody's got to guard him, and they didn't. And Sean Clifford, leading receiver, now has 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter.
Well, all Reevy does is roll around.
Clifford, I said Sean.
He moves around, gets out of the pocket, and after he's moved, the St. X defensive backs have struggled to guard these Bomber receivers, and that's why it's 13-0 with the extra point coming.
Roll Miller in for the point after. The hold by Tucker Hunley. The kick is up. The kick is through. It is 14-0 Bombers. And it appeared that the Tigers had pretty good pressure that time on Reevy, Tony, as he had trouble with the snap, and then he rolled to the left. Tigers were coming, but he threw it to a spot, and his receiver was there.
Well, we've seen his arm, and he has plenty of that, and 2 good throws. I mean, both touchdowns were long passes to the back part of the end zone, but you have to stay in coverage that long and give Reevy the credit for getting himself in away. He's not staying in the pocket making those long throws. He's moved out of the pocket, but, boy, you got to be totally demoralized if you're a St. X Tiger right now.
Tony, where's your replay monitor? Let's turn around. Matt McCarthy letting us down this week. What's that about? He just shrugs. He's got too much UFC and boxing to worry about. I'm just kidding, Matthew. Don't cut us off.
Coming after us now. No, John, just totally demoralizing. You have them in 3rd and 28 or whatever it was, and you give up a first down, and then they go down and score.
Claire will kick it away. 2 Tigers deep. This one's high and short. And coming up to take it is Mackay at the 11-yard line. Running left hash mark, gets outside of the 24 and spun down right there. Good coverage that time by Tucker Hunley, who happened to be the holder on the point after. And St. X Tigers will start 1st and 10 at their own 24. 4:48 to go here, first quarter. And now you have to start thinking about what Kevin Wallace told us in the pregame. If this one gets out of hand, I'm getting my guys out of there because the last thing you need is an injury this week.
Yeah, John, and the one thing here, if they want to stay in this game, the offense is going to have to play well because we've seen that offense for the Bombers from Cincinnati and the St. X from Louisville. Got to get some offense going.
2 to the right, 2 to the left here. Logan Davis in the backfield. Now Mackay Smith in motion. He heads downfield. Bodine wants to throw, does throw, and it is almost intercepted. Looking for Goodman at about the 32-yard line, and stepping in there was Drew Klaas. Drew Klaas, the defensive back, to get a couple of hands on it.
Well, if that ball goes through his hands like it did and gets to Goodman, then Goodman's running the other way. But Tiger offense, incomplete on first down.
2nd and 10, Goodman and Spears to the right. No relation. Smith to the left. Here's Logan Davis up the middle. Has a hole. It closes quickly as Hunley comes up from his defensive back spot, makes the hit at about the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4 for Logan Davis, and he got thrown to the ground. Third down 6.
You have to move the football, and what you have to do is go play action because They run that 3-3-5 defense, and when that ball's handed off, those guys come hard. You have to show them, not on 3rd and 6, but you have to show them that play action, get them to step forward, and then look for the guys going down the field. They don't have to go far down the field, but they got to get open.
Goodman goes wide to the right, along with Michael Duddy, Smith, and Spears to the left. Rolling right this time, Bodine rolled right into where the pressure was coming from, and he is going to be sacked back of the 29-yard line. Well, the Bombers brought pressure from the same side that Bodine was sprinting out to, and Jacob Dubourg, the lineman, will get credit for the sack. Loss of 5 on the play, and the punting unit in for the Tigers.
Well, one thing that the Bombers do defensively is confuse offensive blocking schemes, and right now they're confusing the Tigers by bringing guys from different spots. And the Tiger offensive line's got to get together and do a good job of protecting Doug Bodine.
Bennett Bayline in to kick it away. 24-yarder in his first effort, which is rare for him. And this is even worse.
It was tipped.
It was blocked, bounces at the 34, takes a Tiger roll. Not much of one, but takes a Tiger roll to about the 37-yard line. And Cincinnati St. X, it's going from bad to worse for the Tigers. Will take over at the Louisville St. X 37-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:07 to go here in the first quarter. The Bombers lead it 14-0.
Well, if I'm the Bombers right here, it's play action and going deep. I mean, if I'm the offense coordinator calling the plays the way they've hit those 2 long ones, that's where I would go. Now, if you're the St. X Tigers, you got to find a way to slow these guys down. Easier said than done, though.
Reeves in the shotgun. He's got a new running back behind him here. Lang in motion from tight end from left to right. And falling down is Reevy, but he got it to the running back. Not much there, maybe a yard, as J.P. Reed made the hit on Luke Versansky, the sophomore, in there at running back. It looked like one of the linemen stepped on Reevy's feet, one of the offensive linemen, and as he's going to the ground, somehow he got it to Versansky.
Yeah, you were watching it. How did he hand that ball off without dropping it?
I don't know. He didn't hit the ground before he handed it off. 2nd down and 9, or 2nd down and 13 after the loss. Here's a draw play to Versansky, and he's got some room. 30, 20, and tripped up inside the 20-yard line finally by Anthony Woods from his cornerback position. But a big gain for Versansky there as he got 21 yards to the 19.
That's that play Trinity ran for years. They take everybody right, and they hand it off going the other way.
1st and 10 Bombers. Reevy takes a snap, wants to throw, looking deep, throws over the middle instead to Lang. He's to the 10, breaks a tackle to the 5, and finally brought down at the 4-yard line. J.P. Reed hanging on. Peckinpah gave him help late. And it's 1st and goal Bombers at the 4 after a gain of 15 from Marshall Lang. Tigers mass substitutions there. Versansky, the lone setback. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Running to the right is Versansky, hitting the backfield, eluded the tackler. Boy, Peckinpah, or is that Reed? That's Reed, had him for a loss back of the 8. He got out of it and got a couple of yards. Well, give him 1 yard to the 3, 2nd and go. When it rains, it pours, Tony.
Yeah, they finally get in there, but they're very, very quick, very, very good at doing these things, and the Tiger defense has just been looked totally confused.
Under center again this time is Reevy.
Watch him running right.
2 tight ends over to the right. Versansky, the lone setback. They give it to Clifford, who gets his 3rd touchdown, a little jet sweep. He just steps inside, and the route is on here at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
Well, this looks like the varsity playing the freshman team right now, how they're just disposing of the Tigers coming down the field. So 20-0, 1:26 left first quarter. It's all Cincinnati St. X here at St. X High School in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a game, Tony, that we talked about, and we'll talk a little more about it after this extra point. And it is up and good. It's 21-0 Bombers. The game doesn't mean a whole lot, but you can't go into next week feeling bad about yourself, and that's the way this game is trending right now. The confidence level that you have to have when you're heading into the playoffs, taking a beating right now.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking the same thing. This is a good football team, and I heard Coach Wallace say even before, this might be the best team we play all year, including Male High School, and we've seen that already tonight. And unfortunately for the Louisville St. X Tigers, defensively, they cannot figure out what they're doing. They play a lot of zone, and Cincinnati St. X is just disposing of them down the field.
Jim, it's been a really impressive performance by Coach Speck's team.
Yeah, in that you go back to that, third down and 25. I mean, that was, basically a killer. Yeah, they go ahead and make the play. But guys, we've been in position, but we can't sit there in zone the entire game.
Maxwell Clare will kick it away. Is going to have his foot put in ice if this continues. This one's deep to the right side, and Mekhi Smith takes it at about the 1 on the right hash. Now he's all the way over to the left hash, which I don't understand why guys run sideways. And Tigers will start at their own 13. Run right straight ahead, Tony. I don't care where the kick coverage is coming. Get to the 20-yard line.
I've always agreed at any level, you get what you can. When you run 30 yards to try to get upfield, good teams are going to run you down. And Mekhi Smith is a great returner, but you have no chance when there's 5 bombers that are clear coming at you. So if things have been bad enough, they didn't get any better there.
Doug Bodine will come out. I'm not expecting at this point to see Mekhi Smith at quarterback tonight.
Right now, John, no.
I don't see any reason for it, to be honest with you. Bodine, the shotgun. Read option. He keeps it running to the middle, then across the 15, fights his way across the 20 to about the 21. Good read that time from Doug Bodine, the senior. He got about 8, bring up second and short.
Well, those are the type of plays you have to run. You have to show a read. You got to make those guys. I'm watching the defensive guys for Cincinnati, St. X in the back, and when they see a handoff, they come. They don't wait a second. You have to pick the right defense, play action, and throw the ball down the field. You got to try it because right now you're down 21-0, and you got to find some answers.
Second down and 2. Straight drop for Bodine. Looking for the screen. He's got it to the up back who's got a first down across the 30. That is Duddy, who was sitting in a sort of an H-back position, came all the way across the field from the left to the right. Bombers had one guy there who almost made the tackle.
With 4 St. X guys.
With 4 St. X guys. But Duddy able to avoid it and get out to the 35-yard line. Good pickup and a first down for the Tigers.
Now the Bombers are in too deep now. You look at their safeties. You see what they're doing. And right now, the way they're set up, it's going to be in the first quarter, John.
Yep, first quarter comes to an end. 21-0 Bombers. Tigers with the ball when we come back. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Liam Clifford here in the first quarter. 3 touchdowns, 2 catching, 2 receiving, and 1 on the ground. 2nd and 7. Davis in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. And a tight end each way for the Tigers here.
Eight guys in the box.
Wanting to throw Bodine. Does throw. It is a dive and well short of his intended receiver, Mekhi Smith, who ran that deep in slant and was open. But Doug Bodine didn't get the ball to him.
Well, that's
Third down and 7.
That's the right call against that defense. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, all within the box of the outside the offensive line. You run one guy down, and I know there was pressure, but Doug's got to get that ball into the numbers of Mackay. He's got one guy to go against if he catches the ball, and a lot of guys can't tackle Mackay Smith out in open space.
Elijah Byrne in at wide receiver now. We didn't see him last week with the injury. Good to see him back on the field on 3rd down and 7. Bodine takes a snap, straight drop. It's a quarterback draw, running to the right, hit and dropped at the 41-yard line. Boy, he had one man to beat, and he could not get away from T.J. O'Malley, the senior linebacker, who made a nice play on Bodine there because Doug was going to have some room if he got past O'Malley, but he could not. Got to the 41, a gain of about 3, brings up 4th and 4, and Bennett Bayline, who's having a nightmare so far tonight, hopes to get a good one away here.
Well, that was the right call, but somebody missed a block on the outside, and Bodine would have ran for a long time. You know they're coming.
And a good high kick, not deep, but a fair catch called for. And the ball's on the ground, but I think it was recovered by Versansky, who was back there, called for the fair catch, mad at himself because he did put it on the ground, but able to get back on top of it at the 33-yard line. 10:28 to go here in the first half. 21-0 Bombers. They've scored on all 3 possessions tonight.
Yeah, and it's been Matthew Reevy and Liam Clifford's show here early.
Throw in a little Kellen Newman just for
It's a stretch play, and then it's Reevy going down the field. And if I'm Bombers right here, it's that stretch-looking play. You go play action.
End of the first quarter, Manual leads Mayo 14-0.
And that's what they did.
Reevy rolls right, throws late. It is caught at midfield. Coming back to his quarterback was Jalen Patterson, the junior wide receiver, and good job to keep things alive by Reevy and then find his receiver.
Ran the play I thought they'd do. One Tiger there, couldn't get to him, and then the Tiger defensive backs have a lot of trouble coming back with the Bomber receivers.
Gain of 17, first down on the midfield strike. Jet sweep to Clifford, running left, cuts inside at midfield, and he's chopped down. That is Jake D'Antoni, who had a really good breakout performance in his first game back last week. Came up from his safety spot. Gain of 2 to the 48 there, 2nd down and 8 for the Bombers.
Schaffner made that play on the outside, turning that play in.
2 to the right and 1 to the left. Versansky in the backfield, pistol formation. Straight drop from Reevy. Now he's in trouble, looking to the right, rolling to the right, escaping. Now throws late. It is, I believe, incomplete.
It's going to be a flag over here. It's going to be a hold on the St. X defense, Louisville St. X defense, I believe, John.
Intended for Jalen Patterson, but a little bit short. We'll see what the call is. Yeah, that is not where you want the flag if you're the defensive team. As the referee comes over to explain to defense coordinator Bart Bruner exactly what happened. It is a hold against the Tigers. That'll be a 10-yard penalty and a first down for the Bombers.
When I was watching, I just focused on the defensive backfield there, and one of the receivers on the inside slot went down the field, and when he went across, kind of went down and saw the flag come out right after that. So you're looking at a 10-yard penalty and a first down. And the Bombers, even though the St. X Tigers can get an incomplete pass, they still get the first down to the Tiger 38-yard line. 21-0. Bombers from Cincinnati dominating this game early.
They're at the 38. 2 receivers to the right. 1 slot man that way as well, and 1 to the left. Empty backfield. Rolling to the right. Looking back to the left for the screen. It is caught at the 40, across the 35 and 30 before he's dropped right at the first down marker. That is Ben Bracken, running back, just kind of snuck out of the backfield, had a couple of blockers with him. It's a pickup of 9 to the 29-yard line of the Tigers, 2nd down and 1. And Bracken, the senior, gets the carry running left, has the first down. 3rd running back that the Bombers have used tonight. And Bracken gets about 2 yards, needed 1 for a first down. It's a first down for the Bombers. Under 9 to play here in the first half. 21-0, a whistle and a stoppage of play here.
Started back up?
Yeah, don't start it back up. The Bombers want to go. Handoff up the middle. Bracken fights his way inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Eric Allen hanging on. Bowler was the help along with Reed, Walsh, a lot of Tigers there. He got to the 24. Gain of about 3 yards for Ben Bracken. Brings up 2nd and 7. Sorry, Tony, you're not getting a lot of words in, but they're going so fast. By the time I'm finished calling the play,
you just talk a lot.
They're ready to snap it. You're right. Stretch play Bracken, this time going to the right. Has a bit of a hole, but it closes quickly at about the 23, so a gain of a yard. Schaffner, Cotton were both there to bring up a 3rd down, and the Tigers have not been able to get the Bombers off the field on 3rd down yet tonight. This time it's 3rd and 6 at the 23. Pistol formation. Reevy, straight drop, pressure up the middle, rolls to the right, throws, has a man right at the sticks, fights his way for a 1st down, and inside the 15-yard line before he's gang tackled. That is Matthew Lang, the big tight end. And a 1st down for the Bombers at the Tiger 13-yard line.
I just want to say one thing. Matthew Reevy's awful good.
3 to the right. Reevy, quick throw to the right to Patterson. He gets a block to the 10, to the 5, and brought down there. There's a flag right at Lang where the I thought it was a good block, to be quite honest about it, but maybe a block in the back, but it was at the line of scrimmage, so I think he was okay there. I'm not questioning the call. I'm just questioning the call. It is going to be a hold against the Bombers.
See, everybody listening, he doesn't listen to me. I told him it was a hold. I saw it.
Yeah, well, I saw it too with my binoculars, and I'm not sure it was a hold. But break for the Tigers there, moves it back to the 24-yard line.
Well, what I wanted to say a minute ago, John, is Matthew Reevy, 6'4", good-looking quarterback, moves well in the pocket, really throws the ball, and he's been as good as advertised.
1st down and long here. Handoff to Newman back in the game, running right across the 20. Tripped up as he gets to about the 15-yard line. A gain of about 9 on 1st and 21. He gets to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 12. Quickly to the line of scrimmage of the Bombers. Under center. Stretch play again. Same call. This time nowhere to go. Mick Walsh, Hale Bowler, J.P. Reed up off the bottom of the pile. Loss of a yard or 2 on the play that time by Newman. That'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Bombers. And if you're the Tigers here, Tony, it's a small victory if you can just hold them to a field goal attempt. Reevy's alone in the backfield. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Tigers with a 4-man front here. They bring 4. Quick throw, slant, caught, short of the 1st down, hit and drop. Nice tackle from Anthony Woods. Patterson right inside the 5-yard line. They have to get to the 3 for a 1st down. So it's 4th down and about 2 here for the Bombers. They'll keep the offense in the game. They huddle up for one of the few times tonight. Quickly go to the line of scrimmage. Bracken is the up back. Newman the deep back here on 4th down and 2 for Cincinnati St. X. In motion goes Clifford. Long count. Reevy takes it. Wants to throw. Straight drop. Has all day. Now he'll run to the left. He'll dive into the end zone. Touchdown. Bombers. Tiger defensive backs did a really good job of the linebackers in coverage, but nobody was spying Matthew Reevy, and he goes in easily.
5:44 left here, 1st half. Bombers go up 27-0 on the Tigers with the extra point coming from Roe Miller, and it's just been all Bombers out of Cincinnati tonight, and a little demoralizing if you're a Louisville St. X fan.
It is more than a little demoralizing, I will say that. Mason Rollmiller in for the extra point. Hundley will hold it. Looking for his 4th straight, and he's got it. It's 28-0 Bombers. 5:44 to go 1st half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Makai Smith on the kick return, this time straight ahead. He's across the 20, spins out of a tackle to the 30, and then is gang tackled at about the 33-yard line. Well, this St. X defense, Tony, they got to do something different here because they are getting manhandled tonight by the Cincinnati Bombers, and these third down conversions have been easy.
They have, and I think that's the most worrisome thing if you're a Tiger fan. It's not that they're giving up this yardage and not even that they're down 28. It's just how easy it's been. And offensively here, John, the Tigers from St. X here in Louisville, every first down have run the ball. They're going to have to mix things up and try to hit something and just get something going here.
5:35 to do it here in the first half. Bodine in a shotgun. He's got Davis out of the backfield. He hit him on a little wheel route. He's got a first down across the 45 and brought down. Tigers looking for a face mask there. Matthew Devine, the linebacker, had Davis in coverage, and Logan just ran right past him there. It's a first down for the Tigers, and it's going to be a face mask, 15 yards added on to after the 17-yard gain, so a 32-yard play, and Tigers needed it.
Well, I really like that play. The Bombers load that inside, so you get man coverage running that wheel route with your running back, and a nice gain even before the penalty. So this will be the furthest down that the Louisville Tiger offense has moved down to the Cincinnati St. X Bombers 36-yard line. 5:36 left. Bombers lead by 4 touchdowns.
Bodine shotgun. He's got Davis to his left. Or that's Borho. He wants to throw. He hits Goodman at the 30. Breaks the tackle almost and falls forward to about the 27-yard line. Hanging on for dear life was Wiles Dolly, the senior defensive back. It's a gain of 9, second down and 1.
And, John, don't you think that's the type of offense the Tigers have to run? Get it out quick. Let's get the ball 5-6 yards down the field, a little play action, then run the ball. Mix it up a little bit. Just don't try to go in there and run straight at them because they are so aggressive to the football.
And hit a couple of those, Tony, then the
you get
hitch and go.
Yes, exactly.
Second down and 1 for the Tigers, so anything in the playbook is open here at the Bomber 27-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Davis in the backfield, pistol formation. Bodine takes a snap, hands it to Logan. Nothing. They sees a team picture of the defense of the Bombers as the blocking just not there that time. Loss of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 2.
Tigers had 3 guys lined up to the left, 2 defensive backs 10 yards off, 1 on the outside. Take 1 step back. And, John, even in grade school and stuff, and at this level, a lot of times you just have a signal from the quarterback to pat something, and you snap it and you toss it, and you can get up the field. And that time the Bomber defense just stood up the Tiger offensive line.
3rd down and 2, obviously 4-down territory here for the Tigers. Bodine wants to throw, blitz up the middle, screen. It's caught by Duddy. He's across the 25, and he's going to go. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Finally, that screen was set up perfectly. They ran it earlier. This time, nobody touched Michael Duddy. He went 28 for the touchdown.
Well, they used Cincinnati St. X's defense's aggressiveness, if I can say that, against them. They made everything look like it was going right. The Bombers are quick to the football, so what do? You go over the other side. Michael Duddy catches it, gets a good block, splits it, and now Jeff Sexton will come on with 3:48 left here in the first half to attempt his first extra point of the night.
Cameron Donlin will snap it. Bennett Bayline will hold it. High snap. He got it down, and it's blocked. Bayline did a great job of getting it down, but, again, that time the O-line, that's a failure there. The PAT is blocked. It's 28-6 Bombers. 3:48 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Back at Brother Thomas More Stadium, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Bombers return to kickoff out to the 28-yard line. They'll start 1st and 10 there. Jimmy, it was nice to see something positive for the good guys.
Yeah, one of the things that you're seeing on that 3-3 stack is that the linebackers trying to fill one side, and Tigers chose the other side, and Duddy got the touchdown.
Here's a first down draw play to Versansky. Makes a move at the 30. Nice move. Gets out to the 35. Takes an official down with him. Short of the first down by about 3 yards, but positive yardage from Luke Versansky. He's a sophomore, Tony. He's got some nice skip moves there. Quick throw to the left on second down to Versansky. He is hit and pushed backwards. He'll lose a yard on the play. Schaffner ended up making the tackle, but I thought Woods and get the right guy here. Mason Dealey, the junior linebacker, did a great job. 3rd down and 3 for the Bombers. Again, they've converted every 3rd down tonight. I'm going to say it till they don't. Empty backfield for Reavy. 5 receivers in the pattern. Takes a snap. 1 step. Wanted to throw. Now he goes over the middle. It is incomplete. Lang hit as the ball got there. Zane Peckinpah put a shot on Marshall Lang. And Tigers needed that, Tony. They got the stop. It was a good throw from Reavy right into the breadbasket, but Peckinpah just knocked it loose.
Actually isolated on them. I don't know why, but yeah, Peckinpah was waiting for it. They showed over here they were going to throw short, and Lang went down, but right on time was Peckinpah in the first part of the night by the Bombers.
Noah Taylor, who's a starting linebacker, in to kick it away for Cincinnati St. X. Good snap. Low line drive going to be taken on a fair catch by Parker Gilliam at about the 28-yard line. So the Tigers get a stop. They got 2:34 here and all 3 timeouts left. You get the ball to start the second half if you're Kevin Wallace. So put something together here.
Well, offensively and defensively, the 2 best possessions of the night by the Tigers. They get the nice play to Logan Davis on the wheel route, and they get the penalty, and then they get the touchdown from Michael Duddy. And now they have the ball at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10, 2:34, like you said. And you're looking for positives, and they got a positive on both sides of the ball, so maybe they can string it together here. But, John, I liked what they did the last play calls. They used their aggressiveness against the Bombers, and let's do that some more tonight.
Bodine is he's got Davis back there with him. Borho is the H-back to the left. No receivers to the right, 2 to the left here. It is a reverse pitch to Mekhi Smith, running right. He's across the 30, and a couple of Bombers tackle him forward to about the 35-yard line, a gain of 7. Mekhi came in motion late. Bodine rolled that way and just pitched it backwards to him.
Using their aggressive against him. Now, if you show that reverse and throw it, you might have guys running down the field wide open, and I hope that was a setup for a play that's coming.
They mark it at the 34, so it's a gain of 6, 2nd down and short. Bodine straight drop, has time, throws high and deep, and a miscommunication with Mekhi, who cut the route off short. Good coverage out there for the Bombers. That is Gabriel Dubois, junior defensive back. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. I liked it. You get Smith out out there by himself with the defensive back. Quarterback and wide receiver sometimes just don't, mesh up what they're thinking. So now the Tigers need a first down at 3rd and 4.
A little confusion, it looks like, here from Bodine and Duddy and everybody else for the Tigers. 3rd down and 4. Pistol formation. Doug takes a snap, play action, rolls left, throws, has a man out of the backfield. It's caught by Duddy. He's got the first down across the 40. Spin move at the 45 and pushed out of bounds on the Bomber sideline right at the 47-yard line. A gain of 13 and a first down for the Tigers.
Well, they get Duddy just man-on-man out of the slot. Does a good job of fighting off the defender and getting the ball out almost to the 50-yard line of the 47. Under 2 minutes left in the half.
He had to make one man miss, and he did. 2 receivers each way on first down. Straight drop for Bodine. Has time. Now rolls to the right. Rolls back to the left. Looks over the middle. Throws late. Got a man. It's Duddy at the 41-yard line, and a flag comes down. That may be a late hit against Doug Bodine. Although I would have thought that would have come from the other official.
It's either going to be that or
It's
holding.
either a hold against the Tigers,
and they're not coming back, or are they?
Or a late hit here. It is a hold against the Tigers. Yep. And some moans and groans from the St. X fans there. Bodine, a great job to keep that play alive. Found Duddy. It would have been enough for a first down in Bomber territory, but the hold is going to bring it way, way back because that happened well behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a killer if you're the Tigers from St. X. Now you have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
Bombers have 2 timeouts, but it is first down, so.
This ball's all the way back
that's a killer.
to the 27-yard line.
Well, it happened the other way around a little while ago, and the Bombers got a first down.
It's 1st and 30 for the Tigers.
What play will you run on 1st and 30, John? You practice a lot of those?
I would run something to get about 10 yards.
Yeah, I'd look to run a draw, something like that.
Todd Powers with the Mr. Obvious over here. Get it to Mackay.
Well, this could be the play where you show it to him and hope they chase him, and maybe somebody, Michael Duddy, maybe a Grant Goodman can get open.
I don't want to get real cute here.
I don't either, John.
If you do, it's 35-6. Tigers taking a long time looking at the sideline. 2 to the right, 2 to the left on 1st and 30. Logan Davis in the backfield. It's a quarterback draw for Bodine, and there is nowhere to go. Spins away from one guy, but going to be hit for a loss back at the 26. And now Cincinnati St. X will use a timeout. We'll take one as well with 1:34 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Tony, Jim, and Todd. Coach Steve Speck. Tony using his second timeout on defense there. It is 2nd down and 32 for the Tigers. I would not be surprised to see Kevin Wallace keep it on the ground here and sort of make Steve Speck use that last timeout. Instead, Bodine wants to throws a slant pattern, caught by Mackay, trying to break a tackle. He gets across the 30. Hanging on was the defensive back, Drew Class. Mackay did get out to the 32-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and, well, not quite as long, we'll call it. 3rd and 25 after a gain of 7 for Mackay Smith. And Tigers in no hurry here, and they shouldn't be, with 1:06 to go in the half.
And I would assume after this play, the Bombers will use their last timeout as the clock runs under a minute here in the first half.
Are you surprised they didn't use it right there?
Yeah, I was, unless they've just decided we've almost blocked a bunch of punts, so let's take a chance of blocking a punt.
Bodine takes a snap, still looking, and sacked, and actually hammered back inside the 25-yard line. Cincinnati St. X will take the timeout now. Giovanni Albanese with the sack. We'll take a quick timeout as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Bennett Bayline bobbles the snap, but does get the punt out of there. It's a 28-yarder, but Cincinnati St. X will have to start at their own 47. No timeouts left, 32 seconds left in the half. And if you're the Tigers, you can't give anything up here, Tony. Shotgun for Matthew Reeve. Straight drop. Tigers bring 4. Looking deep down the right side, and it's just out of the reach of his receiver. I thought pretty good coverage that time by Parker Gilliam. But that one just about a yard long for Owen Smith. And we talked about it in the break, Tony. Matthew Reeve has been very impressive.
He has been. And he threw that ball on a rope. I mean, that ball's thrown down the field 40 yards, and it just misses his receiver, who did have a step. Gilliam had good coverage, but he had a step, and if it's on the money, whew.
Second down and 10, 25 seconds left in the half. Straight drop, pressure comes, got it away, and not much there, a yard or 2. And being pushed out of bounds was Matthew Lang. Hale Bowler in the coverage there. Give him a couple yards, which St. X Tigers will take and be happy with. It's 3rd and 8, 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Well, Tigers are definitely in soft coverage here.
Reeve in the shotgun. Straight drop, 3-man rush. Throws to the right. He's got his man. First down. It is Clifford right at the 42-yard line of the Tigers. It's a gain of 9. Just enough for the first down.
Tiger corners are even playing back with the safeties and prevent, but you can't run backwards and give them 10 yards to run it down and get it. So now, with 16 seconds, you got to keep them in front.
And if you can make one tackle in bounds here, the clock is your friend if you're the St. X Tigers. 4-man rush. In trouble, hit, and lost the ball. The ball is loose. Tigers need a pick and go, and they don't get it. 6 seconds to go, 5 seconds, 4. Stop the clock, Steve. They've asked you to stop the clock. The clock runs out. What's he doing? There is no way they're calling it halftime, Tony.
Well, who recovered the ball, John?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Reeve recovered the foot. Well, that makes a lot more sense.
That makes a lot more sense.
Tigers should have had it.
They should have had it.
Right?
But that was the right call.
Kevin Wallace heading out to the official to see
It's okay, John.
exactly who had it. Well, I was very animated there, Tony.
I know you are.
We'll see if Jim Brinkman can catch up with Coach Wallace, see what the game plan is for the second half. Obviously, I think you keep your starters in for the first drive, Tony. Well, I'm not going to bother him right now because the officials.
No. He was having conversations on possession 4 with the officials about some things and was not very happy.
And
I think we're just going to
Jimmy, I guess we're
probably
just going to
lose
let
him.
him go here. All right. Coach Wallace is headed to the locker room, still talking to the officials as he takes his team to the locker room. It is 28-6 in favor of the Cincinnati St. X Bombers. We'll be back with the Eye Care Institute halftime report. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Seniors getting honored here at halftime at Brother Thomas More Stadium. It has not been a good senior night for the St. X Tigers in the first half, though. It's 28-6 in favor of the Bombers from Cincinnati St. X. We knew it coming in, Tony. They're just a really good team. Coverdale, who we saw do it for years at Trinity, calling the offense now. And there are a lot of similarities. The short passing game, the hurry-up offense. But this is a different Cincinnati St. X team because they got a really good quarterback, and they got some really good receivers. They got linemen who might not be as big as they usually are, but they sure can protect their quarterback.
Yeah, it's a sharp-looking offense. They've scored a lot of points this year, and that's one thing. You know, it's not like this is just one night that this has happened. We talked about it earlier. Reeve completed over 65% of his passes coming in for over 263 yards a game, 2,500 over. You know,
That's a lot.
That's a ton, and that's against good competition. That's not playing against single A's and the JV team. So a good Cincinnati St. X, at least the St. X Tigers did get on the board, and the fumble right there at the end, if they could have recovered that, maybe took a shot at a long field goal or a play. But you made a great point in the opening. You won. I always believe you got to get better, yes, but you do need to get through this game, get to Butler next week. That's what really matters. But you know what? You're a competitor. You do not want to come out here and get it handed to you. And early on in this game, the Bombers were handing it to the Tigers.
255 yards of total offense for the Bombers to 98 for the Tigers. Well, it got started quickly for Cincinnati St. X. Liam Clifford with the first of his 3 touchdowns, a 26-yard catch from Matthew Reeve. 9:17 to go in the first quarter with 7-0 Bombers. Next drive, a 44-yard hookup, Reeve to Clifford. Made it 14-0, and just before the end of the first quarter, Clifford on a jet sweep, a 3-yard run. That's the hat trick there, trifecta. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, for Liam Clifford. Reeve added a 5-yard run midway through the second quarter. The Tigers got on the board, nice little drive. Michael Duddy took the screen pass 28 yards from Douglas Bodine. Extra point was blocked. It's 28-6 in favor of the Bombers. And Tony, Matthew Reeve, 15 of 24, 184 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and his big plays have been when the Tigers have flushed him out of the pocket, and he's what I really like about him is his composure. He keeps his eyes down the field, and all of a sudden, if they give him enough time, he breaks the pocket, he finds guys, and keep talking about that big arm he's got. He's shown that. You know, you're talking about a high school senior really getting the ball down the field and being very accurate.
We'll take a break, come back with more as the Cincinnati St. X band performs here at halftime. 28-6 Bombers. We'll check some other scores around town as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans. Kyle Kirk. I had LASIK at the Eye Care Institute, and I want to let you know the doctors there
What day
wrote a
is
book
December
called 1 Eye or
6th?
2, Insider Secrets to help you choose the right LASIK surgeon.
Let me look.
To find out how you can get a copy of the book to see if LASIK is right for you.
Well, the
or
21st
to
of
schedule
November
your eye
is
exam
a
with proud
Thursday.
St. X grad, Dr. Brennan Green. Call the Eye
That
Care
helps you.
Institute
It's a
at
Friday.
589-1500. That's the Eye Care Institute at 589-1500.
Oh, man.
That's our first radio game.
Is it?
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Bissig.
Who is
on
it,
behalf
you
of
know?
the Bissig Impact Group, I want to thank you for listening
Do what?
to the St. X Tigers on the Bissig Impact
Come up and have a
Sports
sausage.
Radio Network.
Have a
box because I guess it's a little too chilly for him down there on the field, Tony.
Well, you got your sleeves rolled up, so, it's cold up here, but we just handle the weather.
We just deal with it up here in the press box. It is 28-6, Cincinnati St. X. Some of the other scores around town, Tony?
Yeah, John, we'll go over to Manual Stadium tonight. Big rivalry game, the DuPont Manual Crimsons against the Mail Bulldogs. Manual leads at halftime, 14-13, a late touchdown by Mail to get on the board there.
Crimsons led that game 14-0 in the first quarter, too.
Correct. And down in Bowling Green blocks a punt late in the first half for a touchdown. Trinity leads 21-14 at halftime.
It was 21-0 there, was it not?
I believe you're correct, sir. DeSales playing Meade County.
On the road.
Meade County leads at halftime 6-3 in a low-scoring game.
And South Oldham, by the way, leads Central Hardin at halftime 28-0, which is a huge surprise. If you keep track, Central Hardin and North Hardin were kind of battling for that district and that region, actually, and we'll see what happens the rest of that game. But that would be a big loss there for Central Hardin.
Yeah, Holy Cross is up 10-0 on Waltonville.
28-0 now.
It does say 28. I'm dyslexic. I can't read numbers.
10?
I can't read numbers.
Father Anthony joins us. How you doing, Father? Good to see you. 28-10. That's not dyslexia, Tony. That's something else.
It's a whole lot of stuff.
You can't tell the difference
I don't know
between
numbers.
28 and 10. I've got an issue with that.
My 8 years at St. X are still not paying off.
Tigers get the ball first in the second half, Tony. If you're Kevin Wallace, goal number 1 tonight, keep everybody healthy for the playoffs. Goal number 2, compete in this football game. Do you keep your starters out there for this, at least this first drive, to say, hey, let's try to get back in this football game?
I don't think you'll see Paul Harley anybody unless the Bombers get on the board quickly. But you got to get your psyche right, too. So the offense needs to come out, do what they did late in the first half, and move the football. Even if you don't score, you want to keep the football. This high, potent offense that the Bombers have really was good. Tiger defense has played much better in the second quarter.
After the Tigers scored a touchdown, their defense got a 3-and-out from Cincinnati St. X. Then they had a nice little drive going until that big, basically a 20-yard holding penalty, cost them. So the offense seems to have found something against this very aggressive Bomber defense.
And that's what we've talked about some on the broadcast is if you run right at them and you try to run wild, they bring everybody. I mean, everybody chases you down. So misdirection play, the touchdown was a great misdirection play. They made everything look like it was going right. They threw it back to Duddy. He needed a block. He got it. He scored. And now when they come out here in the second half, hey, you got to show some pride, and they will. And hopefully things go right, and you get back into this ball game.
It is football season, but it's also November, which means basketball, Tony, right around the corner. We will, again, be on the Bissig Network with all the St. X home games, which includes the opener, the home opener, December 6th, the Friday night against the Manual Crimsons. Jimmy Just will bring his team to the Wills Center. And as always, we look forward to the basketball. We'll have Kevin Klein on next week in either pregame or halftime to talk about the upcoming season during the Butler game next week. But it's a St. X team that you and I are both kind of excited about.
Yeah, the coaches are excited, and coaches, everybody's excited in the preseason because you haven't lost a game yet. But no, they really do like their team. The first poll I saw early on had them 4th in the region. Mail, who's going to be the number 1 team in the state probably to start the season. Good Ballard team, and then Trinity and St. X and Eastern. That's how they landed up. That means absolutely nothing.
Yep.
But it kind of gives you an idea where people think they watch the teams play during the summer, and hopefully Coach Klein and the Tigers will have a really good year.
And the good news is, well, the bad news is we've only had 6 home games to broadcast, which is fewer than normal. The good news is Jennifer Washley has been working hard for us, and we're going to do a couple of road games this year, at Ballard and at Mail, both games on Friday nights, so we look forward to those as well. And in advance, we thank Chris Renner and the athletic director, Kenny, over there at Ballard. We thank John Kelsey, the athletic director of Mail, for allowing us to broadcast a couple of games against 2 of the top teams in the region.
Yeah, we're always ready to go, do games wherever. Bar mitzvahs, whatever you got going on. But
we come by doing anything you need us to do, right? We can. We'll run the karaoke machine for you, right? We're not going to sing, but we'll run the karaoke machine at your next event for a fee.
We have the time.
For a fee. Well, you do. I won't have the time for another month, but you have the time. We'll take a break, come back. The Bombers out of the locker room. Tigers specialists are out, but they may be getting an earful in that locker room right now. We will have the second half on the other side. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Back at St. X, perfect timing as we are ready to go here in the second half. Tigers will get the ball, trailing 28-6. Mekhi Smith goes deep for the Tigers along with Grant Goodman. And the Bombers will be kicking it away from the scoreboard toward the school. And it will be Maxwell Clare to kick it away. This one is high but returnable. Mekhi takes it right at the 6, right up the middle. Now cuts to the right hash mark. Across the 30. Makes a man miss at the 35. Gets across the 40 and out near the 45-yard line. Great return by the great athlete, Mekhi Smith. Tigers have terrific field position to start the half, 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that's the way you want to start the second half. Mekhi Smith goes in there and just makes another nice move and then bounces to the outside. So the Tigers, who trail 28-6 here to start the second half, as Doug Bodine leads out the Tiger offense.
And, you know, if you want to continue to play, I tell my starters, if you want to keep playing in this game, you got to make something happen on this first drive. Bodine, quick throw to the left. It's caught by Goodman, who is hit in the head, but hangs on at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Just a quick little throw to the open receiver.
And what we talked about,
Second and
you know,
6.
get it out quick. Get it 5 yards down the field. Hope you get away. If not, you get 5 yards, and you keep moving the chains. And that, I like that first play. Throw was a little high, and a nice play by Grant Goodman.
Smith and Goodman will go to the left. Michael Duddy to the right. Davis in the backfield on 2nd down and 6. Elijah Byrne in there. He's wide left as well. Here's Logan Davis. Has some room around the left side. Across the 40. Cuts back outside of the 30 and pushed out of bounds on the Bombers sideline inside the 25-yard line. At about the 24, it's a gain of 27 yards and a 1st down for the Tigers. They'll actually mark it at the 23-yard line.
Well, the Bombers stunted their linebackers, and one went way to the other side of the field, and one good block on the outside, and Logan Davis rumbles down to the 23-yard line of the Bombers.
This time, Goodman, Byrne, and Smith all line up to the right. Duddy alone to the left. That's the short side of the field. Davis in the backfield with Bodine on 1st and 10. Doug takes a snap, wants to throw. It's a quick slant to Mekhi Smith. He makes the catch, breaks a tackle inside the 15, carrying tacklers with him down to the 12-yard line, a gain of 11 and a 1st down. And that was a whole lot of Mekhi Smith there. A decent throw, but he went up and got it. Got hit hard when he caught it, but broke the tackle.
Yeah, the Tigers had 3 guys out to the right. Bombers had 2 guys off. The ball was maybe needed to get there a little quicker, but a great play by Mekhi Smith to get the ball down to the 11-yard line of the Bombers from Cincinnati.
For the first time, the Tigers are in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green. 1st and 10 at the 12. Play action, actually read option, and Bodine keeps it, gets inside the 10, down at about the 7-yard line, give him 4 on 1st down.
Good call, like it. Good read by Bodine. And one guy he has to get. The guy makes a nice tackle down at about the 7-yard line. So Tigers get 4 on 1st down. They have the ball at the 6-yard line. They need 7 for a touchdown.
Mekhi Smith, Grant Goodman go wide to the left. Duddy to the right. Byrne in the slot to the left, and Davis in the backfield with Bodine, who wants to throw. Looking, still looking. Now rolling to the right. In trouble, needs to get rid of it, and throws it out of the back of the end zone. Good decision that time by Douglas Bodine. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. And with the score 28-6, Tony, are you in 4-down territory?
I don't think so right now, John. But the mistake on that play was the play was to the left. Duddy had man coverage over here and press coverage, and nobody else on this side of the field. And 6'3", Michael Duddy, I'm taking my chances. If they're going to put 3, the Tigers will do it again this time, and I think they saw what I saw. Take your chances over here. It's one-on-one.
Yeah, it is a simple either throw it up high or back shoulder throw to Michael Duddy here. Instead, it's a handoff to Davis. In trouble, might get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard to the 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now they didn't see what we saw up
No,
here,
they
and
Tigers will keep the offense on the field here. No reason not to.
I agree.
I understand that you want to take, you don't want to leave here without any points, but it's also a game that is more or less a practice game.
And, John, I think the Tigers put Michael Duddy on the other side. He will have the size, but they're going to go tight formation, so they're going to run a corner out here, I guarantee it.
4th down. They need to get to the 1. They are at the 6-yard line. Mekhi Smith in motion. Bodine steps up into the pocket. It's a wobbler to the right corner and incomplete, but a couple of flags come out. Not looking anywhere near the football was the defensive back. It was intended for Duddy, Tony, but Wiles Dolly never looked back for the football, just ran over Michael Duddy. So the Tigers will get half the distance here now. It's not a first down, I don't believe.
And in
high school, it's not an automatic first down. You move it to the 3-yard line, and it'll still be 4th and 2. Actually, I'm wrong. It is a first down.
I was going to say it has to be because you just.
No, it's not. It's a fourth
and
down.
I hate that. I was just getting ready to say before you said it, I hate that because you reward the defense on that for a pass interference call.
Tigers are going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 9:10 to go. Jim, you always love talking about the officials and the rule book. That's just a bad rule, right?
Yeah, they changed the rule about 3 years ago. The only thing they're doing is now personal fouls carry the automatic. If you notice some of the defensive holding calls are not, and that's a.
It's a bad rule.
Yeah. It's we watch a lot of Saturday and Sunday football. Hey, I also want to throw another wrinkle that you guys don't actually know, but LaSalle is leading Elder right now, and what that means is Elder is the number 1 seed, would drop down to number 5 in playoff rankings. So St. X can actually vault with the win tonight, vault up to the number 1. Right, Cincinnati St. X can jump up to number 1 and host 2 games at home, which in Ohio, that's a big thing.
Yeah, and that's a guy from Cincinnati giving you all that information.
And Tony, you also know some people listening that might be interested.
Actually, Greg Vonderheide, I know. Steve Beckman, a former Cincinnati St. X player, contacted me and wanted to know, and hopefully we have some Bomber fans on the broadcast with us.
4th and 2 at the 3. Bodine is in the pistol. He's got Davis behind him. Mekhi Smith wide to the left. 2 receivers to the right. I don't believe Michael Duddy is in the game. Rolling right is Bodine. Looking, still looking, being chased out of there. Throws, and it is caught. Touchdown, Grant Goodman. Unbelievable catch from the Tiger Jr. And St. X scores on their first drive of the second half.
Well, let's talk about the great catch, but let's also talk about the great throw from Douglas Bodine. He had to run to his right, and he made the right decision. You throw an interception there, who cares? Keep the ball in play, and Grant Goodman, this junior, lays out and makes a great catch with a defender on him, and the Tigers will go to kick the extra point. They were looking to maybe go for 2, but right now you don't chase points.
You don't chase them yet. So
kicking game's been a little bit of a struggle tonight.
The first extra point was blocked. Bayline will hold it for Sexton here. Good snap, good hold. This one's up, and it is through. 28-13. Bombers lead at 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Nothing deficit is now 28-13. Sexton kicks it off. It's taken by Clifford at about the 4. He's out to the 20, and that's about it for Liam Clifford. He is dropped right at the 20-yard line. Schaffner was there. Anthony Woods, who's been a special teams dynamo this season, was there as well.
Brandon Chang.
It is 1st and 10 Bombers, and now if you're the Tiger defense, you got to make something happen here, right?
You do, John. They did it. They got to come out and help the offense. Offense did their job. Now it's a defensive time if you're a Tiger fan.
Matthew Reeve threw for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He'll hand it to Kellen Newman. Not much there, maybe a couple. Eric Allen got him by the feet, and then Kenny Schaffner finished him off at the 22. It's a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Now you expect play action on this play after that run. You have to be aware if you're the Tigers from St. X.
Newman in the backfield with Reeve, who takes a snap, wants to throw, pressure right up the gut, got the ball away, short of the first down. The backup tight end in there made the catch. That is Jack McGinnis, a 6'4 junior. Nice throw that time from Reeve because pressure was in his face.
Yeah, Hale Bower came clean, and Reeve does an excellent job of just getting the ball out. And Tiger defense, 3rd and 1 for the Bombers at the Tiger 29-yard line.
Under center this time comes Reeve. He's going to hand it to Newman. He's got the first down and a lot more as he crosses the 40 on the Bombers sideline, pushed out of bounds near midfield. But good blocking at the point of attack by the Cincinnati St. X offensive line. And a big gain of 21 yards to midfield for Kellen Newman.
Well, that's what happens. Well, it's going to come back, John. We have a hold on the Bombers. But
I'm telling you, I went through the entire month of October with those pink flags. I don't even see those yellow flags anymore now.
Well,
it's crazy.
We're both probably colorblind by now. So
you know we're getting old.
We are getting old. I just retired yesterday.
I know you.
And you're getting ready to, so we are old. But, John, that's a huge play if you're a St. X fan.
Yeah.
The hold was down the field, actually, about 4 yards from the line of scrimmage. So it backs it up, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 5 or
it's really a 3-yard penalty there against the Bombers. They'll move it back to the 26-yard line, and that does bring up a 3rd and 4. 2 receivers each way here for the Bombers. Empty backfield for Matthew Reeve. Takes a snap. Looking quick for the screen. It is caught and dropped short of the first down. Great tackle that time by Parker Gilliam. He got a piece of Liam Clifford, who made the catch, knocked him to the ground. It's 4th and 1, and the Bombers will send the punt team onto the field.
And the Tigers will stay in a defensive formation. They're putting one guy back, but they kept the defense on the field. Now, they got to get outside and get a little wider in case they want to fake it. I doubt they will.
Parker Gilliam is deep for the Tigers. Noah Taylor, the snap.
Oh,
what a play. It was behind him and over his head. He somehow caught it. Now, after he caught it, he kind of panicked, kicked it off the side of his foot. It went out of bounds on the Bombers' bench, and the Tigers will get it at the Cincinnati St. X 41. So a 12-yard punt, but that could have been a lot worse for the Bombers.
That was an unbelievable play. Who's the punter, Don Hunley?
No, it's number 5, Noah Taylor.
Noah Taylor.
The linebacker.
6'3", 207. If he's 6 feet tall, ball's in the end zone. What a play.
That was the Odell Beckham catch.
It was one-handed up in the air.
Unbelievable.
But now you're the St. X offense. 7:13 left in the Louisville St. X offense. You trail 28-13. You have the ball at the Bomber 41.
Bodine with 4 receivers in the pattern here. He'll give it to Logan Davis running right. He finds a little bit of a hole and gets down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 5. Just picking and choosing where he wanted to shoot the gap. He does so, and it's a positive gain of 5. And as long as the Tigers are getting 4, 5, 6 on first down, stay ahead of those chains.
A little different hop in the step of the Tigers from Louisville?
Absolutely. 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. 1 receiver to the left, that's Duddy. 3 to the right. You taking a shot at Duddy here? No, it's a wide receiver screen to Smith. He had some rooms, got upended. A first down for Mackay at the 28. But what a play by the Bomber defense, because that certainly looked like it could have gone for a lot more. It's still a gain for a first down to the 28-yard line.
Well, senior defensive back Tucker Hunley made an unbelievable play to dart up and get a hold of Mackay Smith. If he doesn't get him, this game's a little bit closer than it was. So Tigers do get the first down there at the Bomber 28. 6:20 left in the third quarter. 28-13 Bombers.
Gain of 8 on the wide receiver screen there to Mackay Smith. And a first down for the Tigers. 2 to the left, that's the wide side of the field. 1 to the right. Bodine wants to throw again. In trouble now. He pulls it down, runs to the right. He's inside the 25 and double team tackled down at about the 24-yard line. So a gain of about 4. And again, positive yardage on first down. Huge.
Well, John, I looked out there again, and you know how I am. Mekhi Smith's out there with number 23. Gabriel DeBose, a 5'9", 160 wide receiver, and it's one-on-one. And I'm telling you, they're going to take a shot sooner or later. Now the safety moves over, and there's straight man over there.
Pistol formation here. Bodine gives it to Logan Davis, running left, lowers his shoulder and gets down near the 20-yard line. Boy, hard running from Logan Davis there. Yards after contact, Tony. He is doing a pretty good job here tonight.
I love Logan Davis. Just a competitor, a good runner.
Gain of 3. You're in 4-down territory probably
Definitely.
again. It's 3rd and 3 here at the 21-yard line.
Let's see what the St. X coaching staff dials up here on 3rd and 3.
Tigers will send Spears and Goodman stacked to the right. Mekhi Smith and Duddy split out to the left. Logan Davis in the backfield. In motion comes Goodman to put 3 receivers on the left. Rolling that way is Bodine. Throws toward the corner of the end zone. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. Terrific defensive play. Duddy had his hands on the ball, but getting there to knock it away, that is Hundley. That is Tucker Hundley, the senior, and he did a great job to get a piece of that, and here comes the field goal team for the Tigers.
Well, that's two great plays by Hundley because that ball was thrown on the money, and if he doesn't make that play, it's either a touchdown or right at the goal line. Now Sexton will come on. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line.
Official timeout. It's an equipment issue for the Bombers as they had to send Wiles Dolly off of the field and get a sub out there for him. But here we go. Bennett Bayline will put it down at the 28 on the right hash mark. It's a 38-yard attempt for Jeffrey Sexton. Long snap count here. Good snap, good hold. Plenty of leg this time, and it is good. 38-yard field goal from Jeffrey Sexton. It is 28-16 now in favor of the Bombers. We're down. It's still a 2-possession game here, Tony, but Tiger offense, Jim Brinkman has looked a lot better here in the second half. I think Coach Wallace might have peeled some paint off the wall there at halftime.
Yeah, he might have mentioned, hey, look, it's senior night, and you need to reach, deep down. The other thing too is, we've kind of exposed a little thing. Michael Duddy's having a great game. I mean, he was open on that play, and actually what you said, Hundley did make an excellent play just to keep them out of the end zone there. But I think the Tiger coaches have seen something. And really the whole spirit on the sideline down here is definitely changed from the way it was with 5 minutes left in the first half.
And I think it all turned around when he decided not to talk to you at halftime, Jimmy.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. Sexton's kick is high, but not going to make the end zone again. Taking it about the 6 is Liam Clifford. Up the right side, he's across the 30 and tripped up just short of across the 20, tripped up just short of the 30-yard line. And the Bombers will start 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Well, I think what happened, John, is when you get behind early and everything's going wrong, you start doubting yourself, and all of a sudden you realize that you can play with the other team. And it just took a while, and all of a sudden the defense has played better, the offense has a hop in their step, and the Bombers come out, and they lead by 12 here in the third.
28-16 with 4:40 to play. 1st and 10. Here's a play action. Reavy looking high to the left side. He's got Lang out at the 40, pushed out of bounds short of the right at the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. A gain of 18. Matthew Marshall Lang, found some open space. Anthony Woods able to push him out of bounds.
Well, they ran everybody down, had a guy go out early, and then all of a sudden they went into the dead area, and boy, wide open, and Reavy right on the money.
Under center this time again is Reavy. Takes a snap. Hands it to the second man through. That's Versansky running left. Short side of the field. Not much there. Pushed out of bounds on the Tiger sideline. Got a yard. No more than, maybe 2, but it's 2nd down and long for the Bombers.
Yeah, good job by the Tiger defense just kind of stacking the outside. And now let's see if they hold true to form, John. Normally when they run the ball, they go play action the next play.
Actually, gain of 1. They mark it at the 47, 2nd down and 9. Versansky in the backfield, shotgun for Reavy. 2 to the left, 1 to the right here. Reavy takes a snap. It's a draw play.
That's
coming back to the left, and not much there, pushed out of bounds. There is the flag. You saw it. And the referee saw it as well. It's a gain of 3, but this one's going to come back the other way a hold against the Bombers.
Yeah, holding the backfield on that misdirection, that's a play Trinity's always run with their running backs. They make it look like the quarterback's rolling his right. They hand off, they go back the other way. But I'm not sure which Tiger, if it was Walsh or Birch, but they were right in the hole, and one of the Bombers actually behind the line of scrimmage held. So now the Bombers will be moved back to the 35-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 21 from their own 35.
And they huddle up, which is something they don't do a lot of. Versansky goes wide to the left this time. Clifford is split that way as well. They're to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield, straight drop, pressure up the middle, in trouble, and down goes Reavy. Hale Bowler was the first one there. Daniel Toast
was back here, yep.
Helped up along with Mick Walsh, but a loss back to the 27-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and very long for the Bombers.
Well, Bowler beat his guy from the outside, a senior, and Daniel Toast may have to push up the middle, so that really made it tough. So now
3rd and 29 for the Bombers. Empty backfield again. 3-man rush, make it a 4-man rush. Throw over the middle, incomplete, well over the head of his intended receiver, Liam Clifford. Bounced in between 2 Tiger defenders, and now the Bombers will have to kick it away.
Well, the Bombers played easy and free early on because everything was going right. They were just cutting up the Tiger defense, and now that there's a little bit of pressure, you see some things, a pass overthrown, Tigers getting some pressure, and now we will see the punter back on again, Noah Taylor, who made an unbelievable play on the last punt snap.
Really athletically play the game. Parker Gilliam deep for the Tigers. High snap again, but not nearly as high as it was last time. Wobbly end-over-end kick, bounces at the 43, takes a bomber bounce. Gilliam picks it up, dangerous at the 35, but he actually saved the Tigers 10 yards. Got back to the 40 because that ball was going to roll a little bit further.
Yeah, it's
dangerous.
It's a play when the coaches go, no, and they go, yeah, nice play. And Tigers get good field position at the 40.
It's like the line in Major League. Great play. Don't ever do it again. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 40. 3:30 to go here.
Momentum on the Tiger side right now.
In the 3rd quarter, and Douglas Bodine brings his team to the line of scrimmage. And all of this offense has been predicated on the Bombers being aggressive. The Tigers using that aggression against them.
Well, you run it now, John. You're looking at a running situation.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Davis in the backfield with Bodine. Doug wants to throw it. Has time. Now it's breaking down on him, and he's going to be sacked back at about the 38. Lost a couple there. A good coverage that time by the Bombers downfield, and Douglas Bodine could not find an open receiver. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, you called it exactly correct. He went back and was looking down the field. Good coverage by the Bombers, and then the sack. So Tigers looking at 2nd and a long 12 here from their own 38.
When he stepped up into the pocket, he should have just taken off, but he's still looking downfield. Here's Logan Davis running left back to the original line of scrimmage. Might have got about 3 or 4 more. Nice hard running from the Tiger senior. Got him to the 43. It's a gain of 5. It'll bring up a manageable 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Now you got to look, when you go up to the line of scrimmage, you let the Bombers get in their defensive position, decide what's the right call, and you hope that Doug Bodine can make a play here. 2:35 on the clock run, and Bombers lead 28-16 out of Cincinnati.
Smith and Spears to the left, 2 receivers to the right on 3rd and 7. Rolling right is Bodine. Has a man. It's caught by Duddy. Got to get to midfield, and he does. First down, Tigers in Bomber territory at the 49, maybe the 48-yard line. Needed 7, got 9.
Well, they roll him to the right that time, and it's an easier throw for a right-hander. He didn't have to square his whole body. He got turned enough where he took his time. Duddy catches the ball, and Michael Duddy gets it across midfield. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Bomber 48-yard line.
And we talk about getting the ball into the hands of Mekhi Smith, but Kevin Wallace wants to get it in the hands of Michael Duddy as well. Calls him a playmaker. 1st and 10 in Bomber territory. Shotgun, straight drop, in trouble, and down goes Bodine back at the 44. Well, you can't do that. Coming from the linebacker spot was the sophomore, or the defensive lineman spot, Hayden Bailey, senior, my mistake, not a sophomore. Lost back to the 45. Loss of 7 brings up 2nd and long for the Tigers.
The Tigers ran 3 guys down and were trying to get a guy across, just too slow developing, and the Bombers brought a blitz. A good call by Coach Speck and his defense. Now the Tigers look at 2nd and 17.
Bodine takes a snap. They run the reverse to Mekhi Smith. He's in trouble now. Cuts back inside at the 40. He'll get a yard. He'll lose about 4 yards to the 41-yard line. The Bombers had that one sniffed out. It's a play the Tigers ran in the first half that was good for about 8 or 9 yards, but that time Cincinnati St. X stayed at home.
Yeah, they did, and it was kind of slow developing. The first time it was actually kind of slow developing, but Mekhi Smith did a great job. So now Bombers doing a good job defensively to be the Tigers for going backwards, 3rd and 20 from their own 42.
And here's where you just have to get what you can get. Don't turn the ball over. Get a punt away, and then let your defense that's been playing pretty well here the last quarter and a half.
Screen.
Get them back on the field. Doug takes a snap. 4-man rush. Has time. Now it breaks down, and he gets back to the 41, but no gain. Maybe lost a yard on the play. It'll be a sack. The rushers came from the outside. He tried to step inside and take off running. Get what he could, but tripped up.
Well, the coaching staff has to see up here where the man coverage is on that play. They had dead man on the right side. Hey, take a 2-step drop, throw it up. If you got man coverage, if you overthrow him, you overthrow him. But with 30 seconds left here in the clock running in the first half, Bennett Bayline goes back to his own 27-yard line.
On 4th and a mile, Bayline will punt it away. Good snap. And almost blocked. It was partially blocked, according to the official. It's taken at the 34-yard line, and a gain of a couple on the return. Dangerous play that time by Versansky again, but it's 1st and 10, and Bennett's had a tough time catching the snap this time.
Yeah, and he's not getting it out. He's having it looks like a more of a footing type of thing where he's catching it, and then he's got to get set up to catch it. And, boy, that's a bunch of times that Bombers have been awful close to blocking a punt, but they take over at their own 36-yard line with 16 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've actually got a piece of 2 punts tonight. 1st and 10, stretch play running left to Newman. Breaks 1 tackle, gets across the 40, and has, I believe, a first down out at the 47-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds by Ken Schaffner. Reed was there as well. Tigers had a shot at Newman right at the line of scrimmage, but couldn't bring him down. Clock stops on the out-of-bounds play. It's a gain of 10 to the 46-yard line. I believe it's a first down, and it is.
It is.
Under center this time is Reevy. He'll fake it to Newman. Wants to throw. Looking over the middle. Throws. Has a man. It's incomplete. A complete drop that time by Liam Clifford. Clock stops on the incompletion. 4 seconds left here in the third quarter. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Clifford, a 6'2", 190 junior receiver.
A little bit behind him there, but one he'll tell you he should have caught.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Tiger threw an arm in there at the end. So you're looking at 4 seconds left here in the quarter. 2nd and 10.
Handoff to Newman this time, running right. Tripped up as he crossed the 45. Got a couple to the 48. That'll end the third quarter. 12 minutes of football to go. Tigers back in this one. It's 28-16. Cincinnati St. X. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
St. X alumni Chris and Alex Hinkabine enjoy.
I think Manuel's getting ready to score again.
I'm going to try to catch up here. South Odom dominates Central Hardin 43-7.
Manuel,
that's one of the best teams in 6A. Right.
Juwan Northington's 3rd touchdown of the night.
To learn more about DFH, their furnaces and
on 4th and goal from the 3.
Jeez.
What?
Shawnee's getting beat 58-0 by Iroquois.
It's a final. I saw it earlier.
That's DFHcompany.com. Go Tigers!
Man. As we begin the fourth quarter here with a 3rd and 8 for Cincinnati St. X at their own 48. Big down here for the Tiger defense as they've cut the lead to 12. Reevy in a shotgun, takes a snap, pressure comes, throws late, it's incomplete off the hands of Marshall Lang, and it was Hale Bowler. There's a late flag here.
I think it's going to be a hold. I don't think it's going to be a late hit.
Hale Bowler came around the offensive lineman. It is an offensive holding, which the Tigers will decline. Bowler just bull rushed the guy, Tony, and got a piece, I think, of Reevy as he tried to throw that to Marshall.
He just flat got down and decided he was going to get there, and Cincinnati St. X side goes, oh, roughing the passer. St. X side goes, hopefully it's a hold.
It's awful late for a holding flag to come out, though, I thought.
Well, there was two guys there. Bowler wasn't the only guy.
Yeah.
There was another Tiger there, and a couple linemen were on the ground. So great job. Tigers will decline it. And now the punt team comes on for the Bombers again with Noah Taylor.
And Gilliam goes deep again for the Tigers.
Does he look awful deep?
Well, I don't know about that. He likes to come up and field balls that are bouncing. At least he did that the last time. It worked out. It doesn't always work out. This is a good, high, deep kick. Fair catch by Gilliam at the 13, and the Tigers will take over there. 39-yard kick. Good kick and no return. Hey, basketball fans are looking for something to do tomorrow. Green-gold game over here at the Will Center. The St. X intra-squad scrimmage, 1:30. They'll get things underway as you can get an early glimpse at the Tiger basketball team for the upcoming season. That's the green and gold game tomorrow right here at St. X. 1:30 is tip time.
John scored down 965. Trinity scored to go up 28-21 on the Purples from Bowling Green. I believe that is fourth quarter.
And late third quarter, Tony, Manual 21, Male 13. Keep, rivalry game, we see it at St. X Trinity all the time. Anything can happen. Here's Mekhi Smith in at quarterback. Takes the snap. Runs the read option to Logan Davis and got very little, maybe a yard before he's gang tackled at the 14. It'll bring up second down and 9 for the Tigers. So we wondered if we were going to see Mekhi Smith, Tony, and now we have seen him. Now, Bodine was also in the lineup there. But Mekhi took the snap. Bodine was split out as a wide receiver.
More of the Wildcat that time.
Yes, although he did run the fake to Davis.
And we've seen Mekhi Smith throw the football, too.
We have. He can throw it. Second down and 9. He's back at receiver with 3 other teammates, and now Bodine in the shotgun. Here comes Smith in motion from left to right. Rolling right, Bodine. In trouble and going to be hit and dropped back at about the 5-yard line. Well, happy feet there. You got to continue your roll to the right, and if it's not there, throw it away. You can't, against a fast defense, try to come back the other way.
Right. I thought earlier I was going to make a comment, you cannot go dance, and that's kind of dancing. You're trying to make a play. I know Bodine is, but that hurts your team. Now you're looking at third in a bunch, and you're down at their own 5-yard line.
Third down and 18 for the Tigers. Standing on the goal line is Bodine as he takes a snap. He just gives it to Davis up the middle. He'll try to give Bayline a little room here. He gets out to the 9, gain of 4 to bring up 4th and long for the Tigers. And Bennett Bayline will come in, and limping off the field for the Tigers is Logan Davis. That's not good. You always hope it's a cramp in this situation. But we will have Jimmy
take an eye on what's
just keep an eye on what's going on with Logan Davis over here on the training table. So Bennett Bayline back in, 4th down. Versansky deep for the Cincinnati St. X Bombers. And boy,
you know they're coming.
9 at the line of scrimmage for the Bombers. They look like they want a piece of this. Bayline does a good job to get it out of there, but it's high and short. Fair catch by Versansky. Or did he fair catch it? Flag in the end zone, Todd?
And Bayline's on the ground, and he's limping.
As he gets up, and now he goes back down. It is going to be a personal foul.
That's going to be a first down, John.
It was 4th and 14, so that 5 yards Davis got was huge before he had to come out. And now the Tigers, with 2 injuries on consecutive plays, again, we talked about in the open, Tony, keep everybody healthy here. And Davis being looked at on the training table. Jim, any updates down there?
Logan Davis is in a significant amount of pain. They're looking at his right leg at this point. I don't remember which ankle got hurt in the DeSales game and which one got hurt in the Bowling Green game, but he was in some significant amount of pain.
I will say this, Logan Davis is the kind of guy, if you told him right now we got the first down, he'd try to get his shoe on and get back out there.
Oh, definitely a tough, great competitor. But Bennett Bayline is down. And, John, luckily for the St. X Tigers, that there was no interference on the punt, down the field, because that would have nullified that. It was close, but they're carrying Bayline off the field.
No pressure being put on his left leg here. And I'm sure Jim will be on top of that as well. A couple teammates helping Bennett off the field. I'm assuming Jeff Sexton, maybe Cameron Teggy, backup punter here.
And Teggy's a good one, too.
Teggy is a good one, yeah. But, again, you don't want to have any injuries.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking that.
Justin Walsh will come in at running back. Bodine in at quarterback after the roughing the punter gives the Tigers a first down at their own 24-yard line. Two receivers to the short side of the field. That's the left. Here's Walsh with his first carry. Fights his way across the 25 for a couple. Got to the 26. It's 2nd down and 8.
I just, looking over here, everybody goes right after Justin Walsh. 23 and 7 are over here running down the field together. And Justin Walsh comes out, so they're going to clear the backfield and bring in an extra receiver.
And this is why you have 2 training tables. Logan Davis got kicked off the training table to put Bennett Bayline up there. You got to have 2, right? 2nd down and 8. Borjo is in to help protect. Here's the long one down the field. An open receiver. It's caught by Goodman across midfield. A little hitch and go there. The pump fake from Bodine was perfect. Goodman caught it. Got tackled down at the 45-yard line. But a big gain there and a first down for the Tigers in Bomber territory.
Well, that's what happens when you get man coverage. You try to do those things. Make the guy play you.
You've been waiting for that play all
night. I'm watching what they're watching, and you're getting man coverage. Right now they have man coverage dead on the outside. And I'm taking my chances man-to-man in high school. I'm sorry.
Bodine wants to throw on first down. Pump fake again. Now he's rolling to the right, has plenty of time. Throws, has Mekhi Smith across the 40, pushed out of bounds on the Bomber sideline, short of the first down marker by about a couple yards. So it'll be 2nd down and short, gain of 8.
Great job by Doug Bodine on that one. He kept his eyes down the field when he moved the pocket, and Mekhi Smith did a great job of breaking coverage and getting to the outside. Now, Tigers have the ball down at the Bomber 37, 2nd and 7.
Clock stops as Mekhi went out of bounds, 8:18 to go. 28-16, the Bombers lead it here. They led it 28-0 late in the first half.
Duddy's got man coverage on the outside.
3 to the left, 2 to the right. Borjo is in to block. He's not going to carry the football, so you know you're throwing. High one down the right side. It is caught. Out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. That is Michael Duddy again. And he just threw it up to the 6'3 receiver, and the Tigers are going to have 1st and goal at the 5. It's a gain of 32.
I'm glad they're
Somebody's
doing it. I've been yelling the whole game. That's what you've got. Keep taking it. I'm telling you what. John, like what John Candy said,
if something works for
me, I'll stick with it. So if it's going to work, you go back to it.
That is from the great movie Splash, everyone. Yes. Look at it. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. 1st and goal, Tigers in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green.
And, John, this is when I would –
a lot of confusion here because Borjo, I think, is playing a spot he's not familiar with.
Well, I would have cleared the backfield, maybe a quarterback draw, but they've got man coverage everywhere right now.
Can't take the penalty here, and they'll take a timeout. That's a good timeout. We'll take one as well. 8:11 to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. In for the Tigers. Bodine and Davis and the rest of the offense look to the sideline. One receiver to the right, that's Grant Goodman. It's an option to the right. Bodine keeps it and walks in. He faked the pitch to Davis, and the Bombers bit. 5-yard touchdown run from Douglas Bodine.
Well, John, that's a good-looking play. They haven't run it all night long. Good time you get the man on the outside. You fake the pitch. They go with the pitch man, and Doug Bodine walks in with 8:07 left in this football game. And with Jeff Sexton coming on, the Bombers now lead 28-22.
And I will say this, Tony, Doug Bodine faked me out too, so I don't blame the Bomber defense. I thought there was no way he wasn't going to pitch that ball to Logan Davis. Sexton with the extra point. It's up and through. It is 28-23 in favor of the Bombers. 8:07 to go. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Scores to pass along quickly. Trinity now leads Bowling Green 35-21 after 3. Manual leads Mayo 21-19 after 3 quarters of play over on Burnett Avenue.
Well,
Kickoff out of bounds by Jeff Sexton, about 2 yards short of the goal line. So Bombers start at their own 35, and if you're Steve Speck, your offense needs to get something going here. If you're the Tigers, defense just needs to keep doing what they're doing here. Here's a handoff to Newman up the middle, and Hale Bowler and Eric Allen say, you're not going anywhere.
Well,
gain of a yard maybe for Newman. It's 2nd down and 9.
Well, Bowler having a really nice game, but Eric Allen gets that push up the middle. That helps everybody out, and there was nothing there. So
Eric Allen's an unsung hero against the run.
He is. He's a big man in there. He stacks it up, but now Tiger defense, a little momentum going.
Yep.
As the clock runs down to 7:30 here in the game. 28-23 Bombers from Cincinnati, but it was 28-0 Bombers, 23 unanswered by the Tigers.
Keep in mind, Tigers have used 2 of their 3 timeouts already here in the second half.
Watch a pass out of a tight formation.
Under center this time is Reeve. Play action, rolling to the right. He's got all day, wants to go deep, does go deep, has a man. It's Clifford, breaks a tackle at the 35, and he may go. He's down to the 15, to the 10. Gilliam did or did not push him out of bounds. There's a flag. They're going to say, was it a touchdown, Tony, or not?
I couldn't tell, John.
I never saw a signal. It looks like they're going to mark him short at the 1-yard line, and this
Would it be
flag
a horse
is
collar?
very interesting because it was thrown just right out in the middle of the field. I don't know what it is. They're going over to Cincinnati to talk about it here. Tripping against the Tigers. Jim, what's the ruling here?
Well, tripping is not allowed in the football game, and it's half the distance to the goal.
All right, so the ball is at the 3 right now.
It's a touchdown.
Oh, so they gave him the touchdown. So does that mean it's declined, or they?
I'm guessing he tripped him and he went into the end zone.
Well, the Bombers needed a big bomb play, and that's what they got.
Well, Tigers missed a tackle right in the middle of the field, and not good coverage in the middle after the Tigers got all the momentum. Now the Bombers hit the big one.
I think it was 64 yards. Am I right on that, Todd? From Reeve to Clifford, and now the extra point to give the Bombers back that 12-point lead. Tigers could use a block here. They don't get it. The kick is good. 35-23 Cincinnati St. X with 7:07 to go. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Well, back at St. X here, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. The 28-0 lead had evaporated to 28-23, and the Bombers needed a big play. They go to their best receiver, that is Liam Clifford, 64 yards, fourth touchdown of the night for Clifford, and it's a 12-point Bomber lead with 7:07 to go. The tripping penalty allows the Bombers to kick it off from the St. X 45, so basically either squib it or kick it into the end zone. They choose to kick it in the end zone. Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20.
We'll never understand that. I want coaches to explain that to me.
Pop it up. Make them fair catch it or squib it down the middle.
If you kick it 10 yards and they recover it, they get the ball at the 35.
Yeah.
If it goes 15 yards, it's a 30-yard line. So why not?
Onside kick always in that situation.
Oh, a missile at somebody. Hope it hits them, ricochets up in the air, and you get the ball, and then you try to score.
It goes into
the end zone.
Touchback anyway.
And I'll argue with every coach that ever tells me I'm wrong on that. Well, now if you're the St. X Tigers, you have to get some points here quickly. 7:07 left in the game. 12-point lead now by the Bombers from Cincinnati.
Doug Bodine in the shotgun. He's got Davis to his left. Borho is in at the H-back. Logan in motion to the right out of the backfield. Now Bodine in trouble, and it looked like he just kind of fell.
Somebody get pushed into him?
Tried to step up into the pocket, then went backwards and fell down. It'll be a team sack, I suppose. Back at the 13-yard line, loss of 7.
Bad part about that, the clock keeps running too, and you lose yards, so double whammy on that play. But interesting formation by the Tigers when you're down 12 to put Borho in and go tight with 2 receivers.
And Tigers need to get in a little bit more of a hurry here. Taking plenty of time to get this play ready on 2nd down and 17. 4 receivers in the pattern. Bodine looks, pump fake. Now he ducks under a tackler, rolls to his left, needs to get rid of it. Tripped up at the 12-yard line. That's another sack. Or the 7-yard line, excuse me. That's a loss of 10. And you got to get rid of the football. He has done that way too many times this year.
Yeah, he's a smart kid, but that one, when you finally break coverage, you can't expect to make a play when you're that way. The best thing to do, had receivers on the sideline, just airmail them. Clock keeps running, under 6.
And now we're in 3rd and very long again. Bodine throws over the middle of the field. It's caught. Great catch by Luke Spears. He'd be short of the 1st down, but he got out to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 17. Boy, no alligator arms for Luke Spears there, Tony. He went after that football knowing he was going to take a hit.
Former quarterback last year, moved to wide receiver. A nice throw and a nice catch, but it's still going to be 4th and about 7 for the Tigers.
And they'll leave the offense on the field with 5:20 to play. 4th down and 6. Got to get to the 30. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. That's Duddy. Pressure up the middle. Screen pass. Wide receiver screen to Mekhi Smith. Has the 1st down. Cuts out to the right, and he's brought down at about the 33-yard line.
Now, you really got to speed it up here, John. You can't stand and get the plays. You got to call play, line up, snap the ball.
Under 5 minutes to play. Tigers convert on 4th down out to the 33. It's a gain of 9 for Mekhi Smith. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Doug takes the snap, wants to throw deep over the middle, and it's intercepted. He overshot Spears that time, picked off down inside the 25, inside the 20, and finally hauled down at the 7-yard line by Logan Davis. That is the free safety back there all alone, Drew Class, and that one was wrapped up and put a bow on for him as Spears was just overshot that time by Douglas Bodine.
Yeah, that ball he was playing center field, Class was, and it just went right over the top of the receiver. That pretty much puts a nail in the coffin for the Tigers from St. X with 4:35 left and a 12-point Bomber lead. And, John, unfortunately, he was crossing across the field open. He was just overthrown.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for the Bombers. It's a little Wildcat formation here as Ben Bracken, the senior, will block for Kellen Newman out of the Wildcat. Nice tackle by Curtis Cotton, who brought Newman down at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 3. The quarterback, Matthew Reeve, split out wide to the left, and really Anthony Woods was over there, but nobody was really paying attention to Reeve. Certainly didn't think he was going to get the ball, and he didn't. 2nd and goal. I formation in the backfield. Second man through is Newman, running right, hit at the line of scrimmage, and now push back. J.P. Reed came through and got first contact. It'll be a gain of a couple to the 3. It'll bring up 3rd and goal. But as much an enemy as the Bombers are right now, the clock is the biggest enemy of the Tigers as we're under 4 to play.
Right. Bombers want to put another touchdown on there to stretch it out and make sure nothing crazy happens. But where the ball's at on the field with the clock running under 4 minutes, this one is pretty much history now.
Bombers in no hurry here. They may actually take a timeout before this play gets underway. The back judge
John
actually has not raised his hand yet.
Cincinnati, they have a play clock that's out on the field.
I love it. 3 to the left, 2 to the right here on 3rd and goal.
Watch the draw.
Reeve takes a snap, rolling to the left, has pressure late, and it's knocked into the air and falls incomplete. That's Daniel Toast, who got a piece of the pass and knocked it backwards, and here comes the field goal team, or will they? Coach Speck brings them back with 3:08 to play. And they, I think, are going to leave the offense out there. And really, I don't see why not.
Right.
Because St. X has to score 2 touchdowns either way. Louisville St. X.
Yeah, if they stop them here,
you pin them as the 3.
Right. Makes sense to me.
Makes absolute sense here to just go for it.
They're going to go the stretch play?
I would think they're going to throw it here, but it's a running formation. We'll see what happens. Now it's a passing formation because everybody left the backfield. 4th down and goal. Reeve takes a snap, looking left, throws, and it is tipped in the air and incomplete. Boy, if you pick it off in the end zone, you get it at the 20. It hit Anthony Woods right in the face mask, I think. Bounced high into the air and landed innocently in the end zone. 3:02 to go. Tigers will take over at their own 3-yard line. And, again, great job by this defense. The defense, other than the touchdown play, has been exceptional for the last 3 quarters.
And if Wood steps up and catches that,
he's quick.
He's fast. He's a sprinter. And you're talking about a guy that can go 100 yards, and it's a foot race. But
and really, there were 2 defenders. They're not a good decision.
No, that was not. We had a good line on that one. That was not a good decision.
All right, Bodain's in the end zone in the shotgun.
Throw it long.
Takes a snap, gives it to Davis, trying to get him some more room there. He gets out across the 5 to the 6, a gain of 3. But again, you're the Tigers. You got 1 timeout left, under 3 to play. DeSales goes down tonight. Meade County 14-10 over the Colts.
Surprising.
That is that probably, and I don't know how it works, but it probably hurt their RPI. Here's a read option. Bodain keeps it, gets out short of the 10-yard line, got to the 9. Another gain of 3. It's 3rd down and 4 with under 2:30 to play.
Well, this tells me that the Tigers just want to get this game over with, because you'd be taking a couple of shots of Michael Duddy or Mekhi Smith right here, just a couple step drop, throw it. They're in too deep, but who cares? 3
to the right, 1 to the left on 3rd and 4. Here's a high, deep pass, going to be intercepted and dropped, and a flag comes down. I think Duddy was the intended receiver, and he was not going to get to that football, even if Gabriel Du Bois did not hold him. But I think Du Bois was hanging on to him all the way down the field there.
Yeah, the corner, I think, had a hold of him.
Yep. So the Tigers are going to get either a holding or an interference call against the defense. It's interference, so it'll be 15 yards and a first down for the Tigers. They'll get it out to the, let me do some math here, 24-yard line.
Don't ask me about any math.
2:06 to play.
I couldn't even give you a score right earlier.
Male and Manual look like they're coming down to the wire over at over on Burnett Avenue. It's going to be hard for us to get to our favorite watering hole after the game, Tom.
Hey, John, safety, I'll give you a traffic report in a minute.
All right, sounds good. 1st and 10, Bodain with a slant to Mekhi Smith off his hands. That one was a little high. Good coverage by the Bombers, but Mekhi will probably tell you he thinks he should have caught that one.
Well, I just got an update over on Pop Level. Up by the hospital, watch out for a policeman hiding up there. Came from Tom Slayton, our buddy. Said tell the fans when they're leaving to be careful.
The hound dog. Slayton, he'll sniff those policemen out. all the time.
Take a shot again. Why not, huh? Maybe
I
something
agree.
good happened.
2nd and 10 with 2:03 to play. Clock stopped on the incompletion. Doug wants to throw. Now throws high and deep down the middle. He's got a man. It's caught by Duddy inside the 50 down to the 45. He's slow to get up. He got sandwiched down there, and he felt that, but did a great job of hanging on to the football. Gets up, looks for a high five from Spears, and then goes right back down.
Well, Spears said get on the ground is what he told him.
Yeah, let's save some clock. Now, nobody's over there to help him out. Hey, teammates, your guy's down. The medical staff now out quickly to look at Michael Duddy. Good throw, better catch, and took a shot and held on.
Wait, they threw the skinny post down the middle, and the ball came in. A nice play by Duddy.
We'll take a break, come back, 1:56 to go. Tigers still trail by 12, but they're now in Bomber territory again. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Free 22-yard line.
Minute 9.
Good throw from Bodine that time, right on the money to a deep in from Mackay Smith.
Clock's running, Tigers. You got to set up and go. Who cares what the play is right now? Everybody run down the end zone.
1:05 to go. Yeah, Tony's drawing up plays in the back of the Chevy tonight. Bodine in trouble. Rolls right. Good job escaping the pressure. He's got to get rid of it. Instead, he steps out of bounds for a loss on the play of a yard. It will stop the clock. It brings up 2nd down and about 11, 52 seconds to go. He made a great move to escape the blitzer and get outside.
Well, he really didn't have anybody to throw it to over there to get rid of it, so he made the right decision. And Male just scored to go ahead of Manual late in the game.
Yeah, 22-21. Male takes the field goal, 21-yard field goal.
52 seconds left here.
3:44 left over at Manual Stadium there. All right, Bodine on 2nd and about 13 here. Has time in the pocket, wants to throw. Now rolls left, has all day.
Wide open.
He's got to throw it. He had Mackay Smith. A flag comes down.
Be defensive holding on 23.
Took a lot of time off the clock there. 11 seconds came off the clock, so we're down to 41.
Mackay Smith
wide open in the middle.
Mackay Smith is shaking because he was so wide open, yelling for the ball in the middle of the field.
He was at about the 12-yard line,
Yes.
Tony, and he could have turned around and literally walked. into the end zone, and nobody would have gotten to him quick enough. It is defensive holding
That was a
against the
tackle.
Bombers, and that'll cost them 10. Won't be a first down. But now what happens, Tony, when you get down the 15-yard line here, you just take shots to the end zone, right?
Yeah, you have to.
With the clock where it is, just take shots to the end zone.
There's no other plays right now. If you want to try to still win the game, there's no other play besides go down, throw it up in the air.
I love officials. Let's walk back 5 yards so we can walk forward 10.
Well, John, there's rules.
Well, this is what happens when you have 7 guys out there instead of 6 or 5.
Well, they should just let Stephen Tompkins
Yes.
take over, and we'd be fine.
Well, Steven's over here with the flag, and he's just shaking his head at all these other guys.
Yeah, Jimmy, yell at him. Tell him to get it going here. It's getting late.
So I think the Tigers got a great break there because that's like a
Down to the 9-yard line.
I guess it's half the distance.
How about a slant right across the middle or a corner route? You got Duddy Man over here.
First and goal for the Tigers. 3 to the right, that's the wide side. 2 to the left, and Logan Davis in the backfield. Tigers with 1 timeout left. They give it to Davis, and they're going to have to use their last timeout. Well, you try to
I know what they were
try to
thinking.
fool the Bombers there. They think you're going to throw. Let's give it to Logan Davis. He got really nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage to the 9-yard line. The Tigers will use their last timeout. 36 seconds to go. So now at this point, with no timeouts, got to score, get the onside kick, and got to score another touchdown.
Yeah, it says Tigers in that end zone in green, and it's in yellow. Those guys all got to be running somewhere in the yellow and try to stick them. And then you hope there's 20-something seconds left. You can get an onside kick and have a miracle.
And you tell Doug Bodine, look, you can't take a sack, can't run the ball. You got to throw it to the end zone. And if you want to throw it into the crossbar, you can do that.
Yeah, it's got to be like a 3-step drop right here and get it out of your hand. It doesn't matter where it goes. Heck, it matters if it gets intercepted, but if you still want any miracle chance to win the game, I know getting a little excited here as the Bombers do lead 35-23 with 36 seconds. 1 touchdown will not win the game, but 1 touchdown would give you a miracle chance.
Second and goal for the Tigers at the 9. Bodain's got Davis back there with him to help protect. Wants to throw, steps up. Now he's going to run it, and he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, he was probably told not to run it. When he stepped up, he had 1 man to beat, made a quick jot to the left, and got in from 9 yards out. Doug Bodain with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. He also has 2 through the air.
And what a job by the St. X Tigers to stay in this game.
I love what this team's done tonight. We talked in the pregame, and we actually talked off the air, Tony, when it was 28-0 about confidence. This game's going to give them nothing but a lot of confidence. Remember, Bayline out of the game here, so a different holder did a great job of getting the ball down. And let's give him a little credit there. That is Blakely Tanner, backup wide receiver, who took an inside snap there, was able to get it down for Sexton, who kicked it through. It's 35-30 in favor of the Bombers. And now, if you're Steve Speck, you get your hands team out there. And if you're Kevin Wallace, you try to figure out where to kick this ball, where you have the best shot of recovering it.
You're right, John. It's one of those ones that when you do an onside kick, and boy, we saw a great one when we were up at Purdue in Minnesota game.
Yes.
You want that ball to take that hop. Right as it's going to somebody, and bounce hard and up and hopefully hit somebody and get that thing. So you practice this. Both teams practice this all the time, and we'll see what happens here. 30 seconds left. Sexton's lining it up.
All right, Jeffrey ready to kick it. He's going to kick it to his left. Takes a second hop. It's up high, and it is recovered by the Bombers. And running and sliding down at the 32-yard line is Hundley. Looked like Tigers had a shot. 3 or 4 guys went in the air. One of them's got to come down with it, and it was a terrific play from Tucker Hundley to come out of there with the football. The Bombers will have to take a knee 1 time, and they'll win it 35-30 tonight.
If you're lining one up there, that ball bounced straight up in the air across after it went 10 yards, and Hundley went up and got it with some Tigers. So
give him credit.
Give him all the credit. And Reeby will take a knee here, and the Bombers will head back to Cincinnati with a 35-30 win.
Well, it was 28-0. Cincinnati St. X with the lead with 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tigers could have folded up the 10th there, Tony, but they didn't. They fought back. The offense was good. The defense was good. And Louisville St. X will go into the playoffs with a 6-4 record. The Bombers improved to 8-2. And I think if you're Kevin Wallace, you have to be really happy and proud of what your team did tonight.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what he has to say about his seniors, about the game, and not even worrying about next week, just how they played tonight. They could have went home. They could have went home in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they fought back and gave themselves an opportunity to be in a football game, and give them a lot of credit because they could have laid down.
Liam Clifford tonight, 4 touchdowns for the Bombers. But a guy that was great tonight, Tony, I thought, was Michael Duddy.
And Michael Duddy's a sophomore. Him and Mekhi Smith, 2 sophomores. Grant Goodman had a great catch. He's a junior. You're looking. There's bright future here. But now everybody's 0-0 going into next week, and you hope this even though you lost 35-30, could be a confidence builder.
Trying to keep you updated from what's going on over on Burnett Avenue. Tony, I'll let you do that as I try to find Jim Brinkman. We'll try to get some words from the head coach as soon as we possibly can, as the Tigers fall tonight to the Bombers by a score of 35-30. Remember, Butler comes in here next week. Tigers, they're going to be down here tonight, Tony, but I think long run, we're going to figure – they're going to look at this and say, we're pretty happy about what happened. Jimmy, you got the coach.
We're here with Coach Wallace. Wow. Big second half. Almost pulled it off.
Disappointed we lost. I don't ever want to be in a moral victory type situation, but when you look at the kind of effort that we displayed and the guts that we showed and coming back against a team that's ranked in the top 50 in the country, hopefully this is something we can build off of.
Was there anything you saw in particular with Michael Duddy? It looked like you were able to use him even more tonight.
He's long, and some of the little screen stuff were plays that we had put in because of all their man coverage and their blitzing. And to be honest with you, Jim, it's just a matter of you're rolling the dice that they all blitz, and you kind of get in underneath them, and they did. And some guys, Michael made a lot. I made some plays. Doug was, you know what? A lot of fight pocket, but man, he was special.
All right, you want to talk one more time about these seniors since it is senior night?
Without a doubt, they've been really good to me. They've accepted me. They have made coaching easy, and they've made it fun to come to work every day. And since January, they've worked their rear end off, and I know that, we had a really bad night against Mayo. We had a really bad night, 3 nights this year. But it's a new season, and we can make ourselves feel a whole lot better about ourselves for how we play in November, and this is a pretty good start to that.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Head coach Kevin Wallace, again, he might say there's no moral victories, Tony, and I agree with that, but tonight was a moral victory.
It was, John. It was 28-0, and it wasn't. It could have been more.
It was an easy 28.
It was a really easy 28-0 in the first quarter, and honestly, we talked off the air when the Tigers made their comeback that none of us, and you said even the people sitting on this side would have told you, didn't think this was going to happen. It looked like a running clock in the first quarter, and that's credit to these kids to come back. An onside kick right there at the end. They almost got it. And that doesn't mean you're going to score, but you're still fighting all the way down to the end. Give Cincinnati St. X credit for hanging in there, doing what they needed to do. But the Tiger defense played very well in the second half. Matthew Reevy ate them up and shredded them in the first half. Tigers did an excellent job. They give up the one big touchdown after the score. That really hurt. But all in all, 35-30, the Bombers from Cincinnati prevail. They go to 8-2 heading into their playoffs. The Tigers from Louisville, 6-4. But no bad losses on that schedule. You can say Manual was a game they should have won, but you get a chance to roll the dice starting over now.
Reeve had 184 passing yards at halftime. He finished with 278. That includes that 64-yard touchdown pass. So he was kept under 100 yards in the second half. St. X defense, I mean, we were talking about the offense making the comeback. Defense was really good in the second half.
Yeah, the defense got pressure on Reeve, made plays when they needed to, and then some nice throws down the field. And some nice catches by Mekhi Smith and Michael Duddy. I mean, you know, Michael Duddy had the game, but Mekhi Smith made some catches, too, across the middle in some places that are tough plays at this level. Two sophomore receivers you're going to hear a lot about in the next 2 years.
We'll take a break, come back with the Eye Care Institute post-game report. Easy for me to say. 35-30 Cincinnati St. X over the Tigers tonight. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.